All right, welcome back to Sugar Free League Season 2, Week 4. Today we have Wasted Potential versus USArmy Esports, who are actually in their first game of the season, as they just joined the league. So it's exciting to get a good first look at them. And tonight I'm joined by Toku. Why don't you give a little introduction?
Hey everybody, I'm Tokushiro. I am the jungler for Rebrand, another team in the SFL here. I'm excited to be here with you, Kios.
Good pronunciation. We're off to a good start. And we've already got some bands flying in here. We got the Syndra, the Zed, and the Sejuani for Wasted Potential, and Morgana, Kha'Zix, and Jin Zhao going to join on the other side here. So already a couple bands levied against Pure Acid, and surprising Zed as well.
Yeah, you don't really see the Zed and Syndra picks anymore, do you? So I'm really surprised that WP is actually banning that against the USArmy team. But Sejuani, that's one of those bands that you see all the time now.
Very, very, very popular champion, especially with AD carries coming back. Having a nice front line is good, and just some recent buffs really helped her out. And speaking of AD carries, we get the Lucian first pick here. And we'll see if there's an immediate bot lane counter, but the Lucian, a very strong champion on its own. With almost anything, he's good. Yeah,
and Indigo actually, I think Lucian is his most played champion so far. I know he's a really good Lucian that I've played against. So I'm really surprised that they would give him his probable best champion. And then there's the Orianna picked up by the USArmy there. That's pretty solid. But I wonder what kind of team comp they're going to go for.
I'll have some jungle options already taken off here for Wasted Potential. But on the other side, bunch of bands spread around. We got some mid laners, some junglers. So both teams, have some standard bands, but also scouting and seeing what the enemy team does. And Jinx going to be the pick here. So interesting. A champion that can struggle in lane against an aggressive pick like Lucian, but they feel pretty comfortable on it. So UMass are going to pick that one up. And the Orianna Jinx combo late game is pretty good. You can get a big shockwave and all those rockets. It real hurts.
Well, let's see what Acid picks up here. Oh, is that the Jax?
Well,
you think that's going to be the top Jax or the jungle Jax?
Well, based on the jungle bans, I would assume Jax is going to be picked up in the first round here. We've seen Acid play a lot of carries, and Papa Skips has been more tank-oriented. So probably the jungle Jax, but of course there's lots of options here. And Rutledge may be going for that Veigar again.
Oh yeah, Rutledge on Veigar, huh? Oh, and there's Pyke, actually, for Angel. Wow, Angel is actually a really good Pyke. They're kind of just giving the so USArmy is kind of just giving Wasted Potential like a comfort bot lane for them. I know Pyke is really good into Jinx. You can punish her early game. So maybe I think if USArmy can pick up like maybe a Braum, that would be really good for them.
Yeah, defensive support. Well, Lulu could fill that role too. It's a little bit risky, but you do have the range advantage. Janna maybe going to be okay. Janna here's the option. So very defensive bot lane, wants to scale up here for Master and Rito. And on the other side, Indigo and Endril definitely want to get very, very aggressive here. But it was sort of the cost, right? You gotta ban Pure Acid's champions out, so you leave stuff open that Indigo and Endril want to play here. So it's just the balancing act here, and they prioritize getting Acid off of the picks he likes.
Yeah, it looks like they're getting rid of the Mouse Heart too, so Rutledge is not able to play the safe lane that he usually likes to play. But I am really impressed by what USArmy has picked up so far. Looks like they really want to go for like a protect the ADC style comp, right? So if I was Wasted Potential, I would just ban like a really strong front line right now.
They have the protection,
wow,
but no tanks is sort of the problem here. They have the Orianna, the Janna, which can really help the Jinx out, but no tanks in the front line. And Sejuani's already been taken off, so there's some stuff already been taken away. In the Ivern, I feel like it's a little bit too many shields. You kind of have to have some front line, but like Ivern, I think Ivern's good. But when you already have an enchanter as a support, it's just a little redundant. Yeah.
In my opinion. But the Olaf is a great front line for them.
Yeah. The early gank pressure is really good too. So I think the Olaf makes a lot of sense here. And I think is pretty good dueling power against the Jax. Not many champions can duel the Jax early on, but Olaf is probably one of them that could hold his own if you micro well. And ooh, we got a Scion, so Papa Skips will be back on a tank pick. The Scion, something he's played quite a bit and had a lot of success on here, so waste of potential going back to things that have worked for them. And US Army, well, we don't know much about them yet, but they're going for this really heavy prioritization on the AD carry so far.
Yeah, with USA Army, how their comp looks so far, the Olaf is able to pick up the early game for them and help them scale out to the late game if he's able to provide enough early game jungle pressure. If it is a jungle Olaf, that is. I've seen quite a few top Olaf, but well, I hope it's a jungle Olaf. I don't think Riven jungle would be any good, right?
No, probably not. Should be the jungle Olaf.
Mm-hmm.
And well, Rutledge gonna get on that Vhagar. It went a little late longer, but did get on it eventually. And so we have, again, pretty standard comps for wasted potential, things they've done all season long. They're going back to, and US Army, they want a big 80 carry performance out of Master, and well, there is some carry potential from the top lane with Riven. Passy could do something big on that, and he's got a pretty good matchup into Scion as well.
Yeah, and I actually really like Wasted Potential's comp here. You have Papa Skips on his Scion, right? He plays mostly tanks, and he usually fulfills that role pretty well. Along with Rutledge on Vhagar, he plays a really safe laning phase, and he's able to still do his job later in the game too. So the problem I have with US Army's comp is they have these two champions in Orianna and Janna that can protect the Jinx. But with Riven Olaf, you're just kind of going all in, right? So it's a little counterproductive, and I'm not sure how they're going to be able to exactly get the Scion engaged, like how to counter that, right? Like they have Janna ult, but other than that, I don't know what else they can really do.
Yeah, it's going to be pretty important for Master position correctly. He's got a lot of things he's got to be afraid of. Vhagar, Pyke, like there's just lots of options to get onto Master, and not a lot of mobility out of him. But if his team plays around him, it could definitely work out. We'll see. But his positioning is going to be key this entire game, and of course, getting fed in the early game, at least getting the farm he needs. So eyes are definitely on the bottom lane to start. Other lanes probably going to go pretty even. Maybe the Riven will get some damage done, but bottom lane is definitely, that's where you need the things to go well here for US Army to start out. Well, both sides want it to go well in the bottom lane.
Yeah, definitely. Because, once that Lucian and Pyke, if they get ahead, then I don't think USA Army has any way to slow them down.
No, I think this is definitely a game where once it gets out of control for wasted potential, you got to be very, very scared. But if US Army can stay in there, stay even, they've got the potential for those mid and late game fights, and they've got a very, very powerful team comp once they do come online. And Olaf, if Valencia can have some good jungling, he can definitely get them there.
And this is a really exciting game for me, at least, because it is USA Army's first game in the SFL. And for their first game, they're playing against the number one team in standings. So, if USA Army does well against Wasted Potential today, I'm excited to see how they fare up against the other teams in the SFL.
Certainly a tall order to start off with, throwing them right into the fire to start off with. A little bit unlucky in that scheduling, but I've got faith in them. They look pretty tough, and I'm excited to see how it goes. They've got at least a couple chances. It is a best of 3 tonight, so we'll see what they're made of.
Yeah, and I'm really excited to see this. And there's something that I do want to point out before the game goes in here. The Orianna for US Army, Alacrity, he did pick up a cleanse, and I think that's such an underrated summoner spell these days, especially with all the CC that's in the game. Not a lot of mid laners are running it, right? So if he has the what is the word I'm looking for? He knows that if he goes cleanse, he'll survive a lot better, especially against all the CC that Wasted Potential has.
Yeah, Vhagar is a very, very scary champion in the mid lane. But once you reach that level 6 mark, you've got the jungler for a gank. Once the cage lands, you're pretty much dead. So the cleanse can give you that sort of that one get out of jail free card and keep you alive for a little bit longer, as well as the fact that tenacity afterwards is really helpful. So pretty good choice here. Got double TP on the other side there for Wasted Potential. So they've got some more options to get around the map with, and well, the Orianna should be pretty safe here, and I think has a pretty good matchup for her in the mid lane as well. So we'll see if Alacrity can get any advantages. I know Solarian is pretty good at getting those advantages against picks like the Veigar. So we'll see if Alacrity is up to the task.
But yeah, I think you're definitely right about what you said earlier about the bot lane. I think the eyes are going to be on the bot lane for the early game at least.
Any game with Pyke is pretty important to look at the bottom lane. He's all about fighting and getting some damage done there, get some kills.
The great thing about the Pyke too is, you have Pyke. He's able to roam pretty efficiently for wasted potential, especially since Sion, Veigar, they all have hard CC as well. And so this is looking to be a pretty fun game. Pretty fun game to watch.
Do have the coin come out of the Janna here for a bit more gold income. We've got corrupting potions all around, on a lot of people here. We got some interesting rune choices as well. We got Predator on Olaf, which is pretty standard, but Conqueror on the Riven, and a Dark Harvest on the Veigar. So a few different choices going around here, but overall, nothing too crazy. Just a few little tweaks here and there.
Yeah, you got to give me a few seconds here. I think
Yeah, we're at 53 right now. Okay, you're still loading in?
Yeah.
Okay. Hopefully that'll sort itself out, and
yeah, just hang on till I get there.
Yeah. All right. Luckily for us, we got no action so far. Both teams just spreading out and setting up here. Pretty much a 5-point stance all around. So no invades, no crazy level 1 shenanigans. And looks like a red buff start for both junglers here. Always interesting to see which way Olaf clears early on. He's a jungler that has a lot of variation, could clear pretty fast and not always very healthy, but very fast. Will be red buff here for both of them. As we meet the 140 mark. And everyone starts to join their lane, starting up the lane phase here. Will be Krugs for both junglers after that, so mirroring each other so far. And the level 2 mark's big for this Lucian Pyke bottom lane. Could have seen all in there. Level 3 also. Those early levels is where you could definitely get a big all in. And already level 1, we got a hook coming in. Yoon Master Ignite on him. He's forced to flash away. No other summoner spells used there, but a good trade in the bottom lane already. Indigo and Endril out to a fast start. Now at 220. Already a flash blown in the bottom lane. Doesn't spell very well for Yoon Master and Rito. We got a gank top lane here. Valencia coming in onto Papa Skips. Pazzi flashes forward and knocks up Papa Skips. And that'll be enough. First blood over here to Pazzi on the Riven. Valencia with a very fast gank here. Red Krugs and straight top lane. Papa Skips starting off a bit rougher than usual.
Right, I think I am in there.
Alright, we're at 250 right now as Pure Acid takes his blue buff. No ganks at him yet.
Yep, I think I got it. Alright. So what did I miss? What, Papa Skips?
First blood onto Papa Skips.
Oh, wow.
Good flash forward from Pazzi.
The Olaf went, what was it, Red Krug straight to top lane?
Yeah, Red Krug straight to top lane. On the other side, we had Pure Acid had an identical path here as we get a bit of more fighting in bot lane. Rito has to flash. But vertical jungling may be set up here as Valencia is invading in the top side and Pure Acid invading on the bottom side.
And this is what we mentioned about the bot lane, right? Both of the summoners on Yoon Master and Y Rito, both blown already. Like, that's how much pressure this Pyke pick can really put into the lane. That's just so surprised that they gave Angel this champion. He's done really well with it. And you can see why. And it looks like they are setting up for a gank.
A dive here. Does find the stun here with the flash. And now that's another kill over. Pure Acid picking that one up. Yoon Master now very low under the turret. Pure Acid tanking, though. Heal is used. And that Indigo will get that kill. So 2. A successful dive here. And Waves Potential off to an even better start.
Wow, I have to give them credit for that. That was actually a beautiful dive. And they juggled the turret aggro perfectly. The patience from Acid, you know, standing there looking for the dive there. And well, Acid went into Valencia's jungle, right, to clear it when Valencia went straight top. And Acid decided to do the vertical jungle. That was pretty smart of him to punish the Olaf for ganking top early.
Yeah, paid off in the moment, but then they were regretting that decision after. Valencia was like, oh, I gotta go to his camps because he's taking mine, and then the dive is successful because Valencia's top lane, no chance for a counter, and of course Alacrity, it's too early to move.
Yeah.
You know, so he can't really help out his bottom lane there.
Well, already Indigo's on the stats sheet, and this is what we feared about Wasted Potential's bot lane, because if they get ahead, if they get rolling, if they keep this momentum up, it's going to be really hard to stop.
Already a poor start, but it's certainly not out of control yet. If they can play defensively on this bottom lane, there's certainly a chance to scale up and get back in this game, but they've already delayed that, that spike, so it's going to take a lot here. But Pazzi is in a good position, right? If he can get some pressure, if he can continue to snowball this top lane, that could be good. As Pure Acid paying another visit there and maybe looking for an early dragon.
And the thing about this, the Riven into the Scion, right? Even if Riven does really get ahead, yeah, she might be able to get into WP's backline, but Scion's one of those champions where he's going to be useful the whole game. You know, Riven is able to be peeled off, but Scion, you just run at them with your ult, right? Like, there's nothing you can do to stop that.
Well, Valencia going to do just that, run straight at Papa skips. He's got the Predator, he's continuing to go forward, the slows are there. Needs a little bit more, though. The axe is continuing to hit. Pazzi's here, too, and Valencia will pick up this kill with help from Pazzi. Another dive, but this one is successful here for USArmy.
And that's a really smart dragon take from them, knowing that Valencia is probably going to go top again to... Well, I was not expecting them to commit so hard all the way to the second tier tower. But like you said earlier, I think their early game win condition really is through that Riven top lane right now.
They decide we're not going to jungle defensively around our bottom lane. We're going to be proactive and go and try and get this Riven ahead. And we're just going to hope our bot lane can play safe. Hasn't gone well so far, but they have stabilized to some degree so far. And continue to get Pazzi ahead. Could pay dividends later, so that's their decision. But we got another dive here in the bottom lane. Endril lands the hook. Yoon is already stunned up here. Rito stunned up as well. The dive's coming through, but the TP is here. Flash forward from Ruffledge. He picks up the kill there. And now Indigo, he's in trouble. Pazzi is here with his TP. Able to knock up Indigo, but the cage is good. Indigo, which might get away. The hook, misses from Endril. And Pazzi and Rito will survive for now. Endril going forward, though. The ignite onto Pazzi. The shield finds the kill. Indigo coming back in. Looks like, Endril just bit off a bit more than he could chew, and Pazzi survives.
Wow, that dive was really ambitious. It was good in the beginning, but WP, they used their teleport to go back up top for the Scion to return back to lane, and USArmy played that really well. They knew that, hey, if they dive here, we have Riven TP to follow up, and it looks like they did a good job countering that dive. Slow down the early game for Wasted Potential a little bit, so USArmy can really run their comp to scale up. And right now, Riven, 3-0. I think she's just gonna run over the top side of the map here.
Do have another Mountain Drake coming up here, so already one taken, and a second one available. We'll see if the shift, does come in from Valencia to try and move towards the bottom lane for the second dragon. Now he's got Pazzi ahead with that third kill, or if they'll continue to go and just jungle towards that winning lane. Despite winning the lane right now, the plating actually isn't in Pazzi's favor. You see there's 3 plates left for him in the top lane and 5 on the other side. So because of that TP, he did give up some pressure on the turret.
Yeah, that is true. And if you look in the bot lane, they only have 2 platings left as well. If I was Acid, I would just keep going down bot. Try to open up the bot lane so you guys can swap lanes, put Lucian and Pyke up top, get that tower too, because the way that Wasted Potential want to play right now is they just need to snowball the early game.
With the new turret plating, do you think there's Gonna get interrupted here by a gank. Predator comes through. Indigo with a culling will force Valencia back, so immediately stuffed here. Oh, Valencia's gonna flash right over the wall. He saw Pure Acid and said, nope, I want none of that, and ran right away.
You gotta play it safe, just flash, just in case. He's like, wow, the mid laner's missing. Where's Jax? And what were you saying about the tower plating?
Oh, so the turret plating, I was saying, with a change to turret plating, do you think it's there's less incentive to swap early on? Do you think you have to wait longer to swap, or is it still fine because you get the gold from the plating?
I think it depends. It really depends on how hard like the bot lane is winning, right? If your bot lane is in a similar position to how Indigo and Angel are this game, I would just snowball the bot lane. Just open up the bot lane. You get so much gold off plating and first tower.
Oh, well, Rito, we just set up under turret. Pure Acid is going to pick up that kill in the mid lane. We do have Valencia going in on a Rutledge. The Shockwave is there. Alacrity, no mana left, but there should be a kill onto Rutledge. And it almost takes out Valencia, but not quite. So a trade kill here. Support for mid laner. And a potential turret take here in the bottom lane.
Yeah, this is exactly what we mentioned that WP wanted to do. They wanted to open up the bot lane. And, you know, like I was saying, if they go top here, get all the platings on that top tower too, Indigo is going to be a monster this game. And plus Jax, you know, they have all the kill participation on the Jax and the Lucian. So I say just play around the Lucian right now, and WP can pull it off. Because Veigar and Sion, they're still going to be useful when the time comes for the mid-game team fights and the skirmishes. So I think WP are actually playing this really smart.
Already that Blade of the Ruined King completed there for Indigo, and just boots for Yoon Master. Not faring too well over there. Significant goal difference, 93 to 51 in CS already, so he's going to get aggressive though. Going to use out the culling there onto the Janna and Alacrity on that Orianna, but nothing going to be found here. Perhaps a turn to the Dragon though. Again, it is a mountain.
And I want to point out that Valencia did go for the first item redemption. Something that we saw Tarzan on Griffin do in the LCK. How do you feel about that?
That's a pretty interesting pickup. I thought he was just going for Righteous Glory or something when I saw that the bracer, Crystalline Bracer, I believe. I was like, oh, he's just building Righteous Glory first, wants to engage. But no, redemption, that's very interesting. Yeah, I mean, it's something new. It's not something you see very often, but it's very interesting. Do you know why this is?
I think Olaf, well, I can't really say so myself. I've tried it before, and it does work. It is pretty good. But I think it's one of those items that you do want to get, especially when you have a scaling ADC or scaling mid laner like Orianna, right? It helps your team fighting a lot. Since they do lack kind of a big front line, I think it does help them a lot. So it's not a bad pickup here by Valencia. But it looks
Valencia,
like,
he's going to go ahead on to Andril, but a quick jump away will keep him safe. Well, it does make some sense. I was thinking maybe you could take Revitalize. Unfortunately, that's not available. In this game, Valencia did go for the Domination and Inspiration, so he doesn't actually have Revitalize available. But if you went for that, that could help out with some more healing as well, get some synergy in there. But very interesting pickup, but I can see why it'd work for sure. As Pazzy continues to bully around Papa Skips in the bottom lane.
It's just really good, I think, especially with the team comp that the US Army is going for this game. And I want to point out that Lucian is going for the typical fork Black Cleaver. Oh.
Yeah, big culling comes out. Yoon Master very low, but Rito is going to block that last little bit of damage and save his AD carry, but both of them are low and going to be forced back this time. Valencia is coming up. Maybe he can heal them redemption, but he's going to fight Andril. Pure Acid is here as well. Valencia, oh, he gets hooked back, stun up, and that's going to be it. Down he goes. Redemption is popped. He gets a little bit of damage, but now Yoon Master forced to blow the heal. Trying to run away with that extra movement speed. Alacrity going to be forced to use cleanse the mid lane as he's cut off by the cage, but this bot lane has gone from bad to worse.
Yeah,
as another dive going to come in. Pure Acid going to stun up Rito onto the tower. Indigo with a couple autos. Oh, actually a good flash away from Rito will save his life.
Oh, they're staying a bit too long here. The Riven's coming up, but they do see her.
And a quick old Science said hi and goodbye real quick.
Yeah, I think I just want to give more credit to Wasted Potential after that. They just keep playing around this bot lane who's already so ahead. They're just going to get more and more ahead, and especially when you have a Riven and Olaf, they can just kite back. This Lucian, he really has so many ways to get away from getting dove. Especially with Wasted Potential's hard engage, they can just engage whenever they want. But like I was saying, with the Bork and the Black Cleaver, right? A lot of people that I've seen are going back to the Essence Reaver build since the crit revert of all those items. So what do you think about that? What do you think about the crit rework? You think there's going to be a lot of meta changes? Do you think those crit ADCs are going to come back?
I've already seen a bit of it. You got the Jinx. Caitlyn's been coming back and in almost full force here. I haven't seen it yet, but here I've heard it's very strong, and yeah, just crit AD carries in general are just faring much better because they have just better items now that access to. Essence Reaver, I know Ashe was one of those champions that relied on Essence Reaver to really work to her full potential, and once that was removed, she lost all CDR and things like that. So just good for all crit AD carries overall, and it's nice to see them back because we haven't seen them in a long time.
Yeah. And I really like when the game, the meta of the game slows down a bit, because right now, you see games ending less than 30 minutes, but with the crit ADCs back, we may be seeing games go 40 minutes or something. But I don't know about this game. This game is looking pretty one-sided so far. They have a 2k gold lead on Wasted Potential side, and they're just gonna keep pushing their lead here.
Maybe looking for another dive. Endra goes forward. The flash not quite in range of Master. Hook is interrupted there by a good tornado from Rito. So another defensive play there from the bottom lane. Does save their lives. Master did blow the flash though. And that we got 4 top lane here from Wasted Potential. Are going to pick up that inner turret. No Rift Herald or Baron right now. So we'll see if they move back towards mid lane as they steal away the red buff. Actually stolen by Alacrity here. We're going to get a little fight in the jungle here. Pazzy working on 4. He gets stunned up. Good decimating smash there. Alacrity on the other side does go down. And it looks like Wasted Potential has won this team fight. A flash forward double kill now for Indigo. And that's another one. Pop Skip's going to pick up that one on Master. And pretty disastrous fight in the jungle there. 4 dead for USArmy Esports. And Wasted Potential taking dominating control of this game.
And the Rift Herald does come down too. So it looks like they're just going to pick up this inhibitor turret without any contest.
Looks like that should be going down shortly, as you said. Just the Janna back to defend, and I don't think she's quite capable of doing that.
No, Janna's a good champion, right? Good champion to disengage, but I don't think solo Janna's going to be able to stop the Herald push with 4 members.
Do deny that second charge, though, which is pretty nice.
The Wasted Potential just had full control of that quadrant, the top red quadrant of the jungle up there. And they played around that really well. It was really weird. There was the TP that came out from Passy, right, really early there. If you saw that.
Well, Pure Acid in a bit of trouble here. Valencia's chasing him, but a quick hop away. That might mean the Cloud Drake and over here for Valencia and USArmy Esports.
It looks like they're pulling it out a little bit to take it. If I was Wasted Potential, I would let them get this dragon and just push mid lane.
Looks like that will be the decision here, as a few people are going to reset and buy a little bit of gold on them.
Right now, I think Wasted Potential just needs to hard group, hard engage, because I don't think they lose a team fight.
I think it seems very unlikely. A few item spikes have been hit here, but Master is very far from getting his first item. Pazzy is he's looking strong, but the rest of the team just isn't there. So I think it's probably any team fight is definitely going to be lost here for USArmy Esports. So
you have to trust the Riven 1v9. If he's confident enough to pick Riven,
just because he's confident enough doesn't mean he actually can do it.
Yeah.
Big shockwave here though. Finds 2. Relic and Indigo forced to kite back here as Valencia does charge forward. There the axes will hit, but not enough damage yet. The Jinx Rocket does not hit, but Alacrity does with the ball. Now Alacrity out of mana, gets pulled back. The execute isn't there. Alacrity good flash away and a shot down. Now Rito using the ult to try and heal up Alacrity. Pure Acid jumping in, but now slowed up. Good tornado from Rito again to try and keep Alacrity's safe, and he will do so. Gets away, and Pazzi comes in to try and clean up the rest as Endril and Pure Acid are forced away.
I think that was a beautiful flash by Orianna to get out of the Pike ultimate to save herself, and I really do think Alacrity is playing these skirmishes, team fights really well. I think she's hit so many good shockwaves so far.
Certainly a beautiful one. I mean, they really shouldn't have won that fight, but the shockwave won it for him. Pazzi gets pulled in, decides to go in himself, picks up the kill there onto Endril. Now Papa skips 2v1 against Rito and Pazzi, who gets knocked up once again. Predator coming in, Valencia trying to join this fight. Pure Acid is here though in the river. Needs one more auto to kill off Papa skips. Valencia will get it with the axe. And now, Rito gets very low, but Valencia will be caught on the backside, and he goes down. Rito and Pazzi should get away here, but a flash used, and well, I feel like that trade's okay in the end. 2 for 1 though, especially from behind. Very, very good.
And the way these skirmishes are going is just back and forth. The momentum is just swinging back and forth and back and forth. Both teams are playing very ambitious. As you saw Angel going for the Riven, maybe he underestimated, oh, hey, Riven's 3-1 right now. Maybe I can go in and kill him. But it looks like they are going to pick up this Baron. Maybe Orianna can steal it?
It's going to be tough here. Already getting very low. Oh, nope. Pure Acid with the smite. Jinx Rocket not able to get it. So Baron does go over a waste of potential here, but at the 20-minute, 30-second mark. And the Jinx trying to put together some items desperately, but still struggling here. And an early Chalice here for Rito, so going for that early cleanse ability.
And this Baron pickup is actually really nice for wasted potential. The only thing that I think their team really lacked was good siege. A way to siege the towers without getting wave cleared by the Jinx and the Orianna. But now with Baron, it should be pretty easy for them. I think the only option that USArmy has right now is they just need to find a way to hard engage with that shockwave. Maybe Riven can, she has her flash up so she can flash, stun 5 of them. But other than that, I don't think there's anything that USArmy can do to really stop wasted potential siege right now, especially if they just 5-man force the mid lane.
Yeah, right now they got Pure Acid in the bottom side of the map. We'll see if he tries to split push, but Yoon Master has been sitting up in their base this entire time, clearing minions. So actually Pazzi gonna hard engage here. The shockwave hits 2. Papa skips Indigo, forced to cut away. Pazzi going aggressive here on Indigo, will find the kill. And on the other side, everyone is running away. Valencia trying to follow Papa Skips. The cage is there to buy Papa Skips some time, though, but they're still chasing on him. The slows, and Papa Skips will fall. Tries to come back as a zombie, get a little bit of revenge, but not going to be enough.
And that's exactly what they needed to do. They needed to hard engage. Riven flashed in. A great Orianna shockwave again. But Acid is there in the bot lane. I'm not sure if he can split against the Riven. And I think that was their mistake was, they let Acid split. I don't think there's any reason you should send Jax bot. Jax is such an integral part of making sure that when they engage on you, that they can't.
Pure Acid, he feels very aggressive. He's going to go on to Pazzi here, trying to dive on the turret, flash to follow. He will pick up the kill. Pure Acid gets one.
Wow.
But Yoon Master is here to try and defend.
I guess I was wrong. He can deal with the Riven in the split push.
TPs, 2 TPs coming in here. Brillage and Papa Skip's going to join. Valencia coming in. The cage doesn't quite find him. 3 here from USArmy Esports against 3 from Wasted Potential. Make that 4 as everyone from USArmy Esports actually came back to join. But meanwhile in the mid lane, Indigo and Andril are pushing. Looks like the action will fizzle out here for just a moment. TP's though, a big cooldown.
Right now it's just Jax just taking the Ocean Drake. They just need to reset vision with the advantage that WP does have. All they need to do is get vision control on USArmy's side of the map, and I think they can still look for these skirmishes. But the way that USArmy can get back into the game is, looking for those picks, looking for these advantages where they're outnumbering WP if Jax does still decide to split. Now, is there anything else you think, WP can do to close the game?
Well, they don't have any, big objectives here, but I think going back to the split push could be good. You got the Triforce on the Jax, you got 2 open inhibs. I think that's probably the way to go from here on out until an objective spawns. Just the Jax, though, is good in the side lane. Papa Skips will definitely lose against, Pazzi or Valencia in the side lane, so... Well, most likely. I'm not sure. Valencia, because he's gone for the redemption, doesn't have as much fighting power, but... that's actually a 1v1 I'm not sure who wins.
I do still like the redemption pickup, though. I think it has helped them a lot in these skirmishes that they were able to win. And, now that we're paused, I do want to say I am impressed by US Army's top side of the map. I think their top laner, super aggressive. He looks like he just wants to go in all the time. Like, this guy looks pretty good.
Certainly, look, Pazzi has these seeds, so we'll see if we'll get them back in a moment. But yeah, they have looked pretty good. It was a rough start from USArmy Esports, but they've pulled it together and looked much better here as we are about the 24-minute mark. They've pulled it back together, won a couple fights, a couple skirmishes, and certainly are back in this game. Not out of it yet at all. Of course, wasted potential has looked strong as always, but yeah, USArmy stays hanging in there.
Yeah, I think if US Army can somehow stall this game out for maybe another 10 minutes, then that Jinx can really activate and she can really impact these team fights in this game better. But it was really smart of them to put her in the side lane to clear the super minions so she could catch up a little bit more. But if you look at the CS numbers, right? Alacrity way ahead of Rutledge right now. That Orianna is also going to be huge. She's already huge. And I think she's going to continue to slow down the train that is WP right now.
Haven't any word on the pause yet, but yeah, should be getting back in a moment here. The Alacrity certainly has gone for a pretty aggressive damage build here. No utility items, straight for the penetration, and the death cap is going to be next here for him. He's putting together those 2 needlessly raised rods, so yeah, there's gonna be a lot of damage with this Orianna.
You gotta go big or go home. That's how you play against damage. You build more damage.
Exactly. Hardest CC is death. Hardest CC is death. We've always said that. It makes sense. Again, do the Jinx. Finally got that Infinity Edge. Finally got some more items, but yeah, everyone is geared up to fight. Certainly, everyone got their items. And looking for another big fight here. More lethality from the Pyke, so yeah.
A lot of I think it's a really smart purchase from Janet. They're buying the Mikhails first, so the Jinx doesn't have to buy the early QSS if Janet just sticks on her. Helps her scale up a little bit more, get her back into the game.
Yeah, the cleansing effect pretty good here, especially with that cage. You want to stay safe.
Yeah, you got the cage, you got the Pyke dash is a stun too, right? And then the Jax counter strike. There's just so many ways for wasted potential to get on that back line.
You gotta be very afraid if you're Game Master. Has already suffered quite a few deaths.
It looks like WP is just giving up that tower for free. I'm not exactly sure where they're putting their priority.
Culling coming out from Indigo. Doesn't find too much damage here. They've got Papa Skips and Pure Acid. Well, Papa Skips here is kind of joining the team here. An ultimate in. Valencia pops the ultimate to try and run away with that unstoppability. Redemption going to come down to try and heal him up. Heal him and Alacrity up. Master forced to run.
Flank. Oh,
wow. But Master, Pazzi trying to help out his AD carry. He is able to stun a Pure Acid up for a moment. Master. Oh, yep, we'll find it. Pure Acid, just enough flank. Damage.
Fantastic flank from Acid there. Even with the vision in their jungle, US Army is just not able to find the right position to be in.
Now Pure Acid going to go for the inhibit. Shockwave finds 2, Acid and Papa Skips. Acid going to be able to jump back out though, and Papa Skips, he's just so tanky. He hasn't even lost half his health yet.
And like I was saying in the Chancellor, I think Papa is one of those players where he doesn't excel individually, in lane. His laning might be a little rough, but he really does fulfill a role on wasted potential. You know, he usually plays these tanks, somebody who can hard engage, and he fills that role really well. And I think that's a big reason why they're the #1 team in the standings right now, because seems like everybody on the team knows their role and can execute it.
Papa skips. He had a really good engage in the last fight. Split up the team. Engage didn't really stick because Valencia was able to pop his ultimate, but getting that cooldown out early was important. Got some damage, and then Unmaster was forced to run away from everyone else, and the flank came in. It was very good engage to the fight, and now they're looking for this Baron. I think it's probably next on the table.
I think this Baron dance is really smart. They have super minions pushing in bot side, and if they can just stall it out more, I don't think. US Army, they have to make a decision. Do they want to commit now to the fight?
Well, it looks like it. Predator popped. Valencia to go forward with the ultimate. He finds Rutledge, Shockwave on 2. Alacrity, though, forced to kite back. Culling is on him. He goes down. Rutledge finds that kill. Papa skips, charging up in the front line. We'll find just Valencia. Oh, big Decimating Smash, though. That finds 3. In the back line, Unmaster is firing away, but Pure Acid continuing to charge forward. The exhaust is there. Decimating Smash, not going to hit this time. Endril going forward, though. The flash forward finds a stun. Oh, not going to be quite enough. Pazzi will be found, and he'll go down. Unmaster, the only one left alive, but this just might be the end of the game here. Well, Wasted Potential might just end right now, and Pure Acid's still going forward. Flashes past the little chompers, and Unmaster forced back into his death. And yep, that should be the end of the game here. Pure Acid, well, he'll fall down, but Wasted Potential will win.
He dies for it, but, he's going for the fantasy point, the fantasy LCS points right now. He has to get those kills.
Exactly. You got to get those points.
And I would say that's a pretty good game for Wasted Potential. That was a really strong showing of, hey, if we can get ahead early, if we can play around our bot lane, then we're just going to win the game.
Certainly snowballed right from the beginning, and they never looked back. Continued to press that lead, and ended the game pretty strong. There took 27 minutes, well, 28 minutes in the end, but we're able to find the victory. And, I thought that you thought for a minute, hey, maybe they're coming back, maybe Wasted Army or a USA Army is coming back, but in the end, just too much there. Wasted Potential showing why they're the best team in the league for sure.
Yeah, the Wasted Potential just doing so much with all the resources that they were given that game. Well, what are your thoughts on the US Army team so far after that first one?
They actually looked pretty good. Like, despite the loss and despite how bad their early game went, I think they actually looked pretty good. Pazzi looked really good in the top lane, and I think that I think that I would have had a bit more priority on the bottom lane with the jungle, because the way the jungle worked out, it just became vertical jungling with Acid going out, into the enemy jungle on the bottom side, and Valencia in the enemy jungle on the top side. And I think that really hurt because then they got dived repeatedly. But I still think they looked pretty good, overall. And all the members had, bright moments, certainly, at different points.
Yeah, I definitely think US Army had a lot of opportunities to come back into that game. Though there were a few times in the last couple minutes of that game, like that big team fight that ended the game there. Maybe just a little bit more patience before they really try to commit, because what we saw, the Olaf just running in by himself, right? With the back line just pretty far from him, getting zoned out by the Vigar baby cage as well. And then the Orianna ult, if it only hits Jax and Sion, then it's really not too impactful.
Yeah, that's the one issue, right? Yeah, you gotta find your way onto those important targets.
Yeah.
And they were able to sometimes, but not all the time. And that's it. Once you're behind, it has to be perfect every time you fight. Otherwise, you just lose those fights in it, and you end the game right there. Like we saw, one team fight, and the game is over.
Yeah, it definitely seemed like Wasted Potential came into that game a lot more prepared for what they wanted to do and their game plan with getting the bot lane ahead. I'm excited to see what US Army switches up. I want to see if he goes onto that Riven again, because I was pretty impressed by the Riven. The Riven play was great. I think it was really good. I think Passy can, if he's able to get, I guess, more help and they play around him more, I think the US Army could have won that last game.
Definitely a possible comeback for them. We'll see if they're able to have a stronger start to the second game and put themselves in a situation where they don't need to have a huge comeback.
Yeah.
But they do have the first pick now, so we'll see if there's a priority change or what the deal is here. But we're going to continue to take away that Kazakhs from Asad.
Yeah, that's just the trademark ban, right, against Wasted Potential. Got to ban Acid's Kazakhs.
You definitely don't want to leave that on the table. He's shown why. It certainly made me a believer of that. Jin Jiao was also the ban last time along the side of this Morgana. We'll see if they stick to that or if it changed the last ban. But on the other side, more bans at Alacrity here. We saw Syndra Zed game 1, Syndra Zed game 2. He had a good game on the Orianna, but taking him off those pocket picks is good. And instead of the Jin Jiao, it's going to be the Lucian ban here. So going to take that away from Indigo. USArmy doesn't want to play against that in the bot lane, and instead of Sejuani, we're going to get a Thresh ban. So Chi won't get a chance to play that, as I believe we do have a sub, actually. Didn't mention it, they didn't tell us, but we got a sub here in the support role, I believe.
Oh, so it's a different support this time.
I believe so. Could be why they're switching up the bans there. Jin Jiao will be the first pick, though. Valencia going to pick that one up right away. So they decide, all right, we're not going to ban it in game 2. We're going to actually just first pick that one away. Makes quite a bit of sense here, and we'll see what the response is in the jungle. If Pure Acid wants to go toe-to-toe or just play a safer pick. The Pop Skip's going to lock in a Sion first.
Oh, there's the Jax counter pick to the Xin Zhao. That's a cornerstone counter pick for the Xin Zhao. I'm very surprised that if they wanted to pick the Xin Zhao, why didn't they get rid of the Jax as well? But maybe Valencia is feeling confident into it.
Maybe. I think the performance from game 1 on the Jax definitely warrants a game 2 pick no matter what. So I think this is still pretty good. And Sivir actually going to be the 80 carry pick here for Yoon Master, which is it's definitely interesting. Again, Sivir really likes the crit reverts, so it makes she's definitely a good pick now, but I feel like she's an abusable blind pick, with a few aggressive things still, especially with Caitlyn up and things like that. I'm a little bit worried about it.
I think Sivir runs into the same issues as the Jinx, right? If WP pick an aggressive bot lane that just can win lane, then the Sivir is just going to have the same issues that the Jinx does. The only thing that's worse about the Sivir is she doesn't have the range that Jinx does. But she can provide utility. I guess that's one pro about it.
Yes, the utility is definitely an upside, and we get the Yasuo lock in here. So a lot of the sort of run at you, and Sivir complements that as well. The Yasuo and Giselle want to go, and Sivir can help that. And on the other side, we've got the Malzahar, which was banned in the second ban phase here. He's going to pick that one up before they get a chance to do that again. Rutledge going to go from the Veigar to the Malzahar. So some more mages, some more long-range mages.
Yeah, it looks like sorry. Wasted Potential is going for a similar comp. Just make sure they have a good front line. Make sure they have a mid lane who doesn't really fall too behind. Even though Rutledge last game was behind on the Veigar, it's still Veigar. He still has the baby cage. So much zoning and Malzahar against if Yasuo is going mid, I think Malzahar is a good matchup into Yasuo. I don't play too much mid, so maybe you have more knowledge about that.
I can't say I'm not a mid lane player. I play more. I play all sorts of stuff, but I don't. I'm more of a fill player, and mid lane's the most popular, so I don't get to play that too much. But we all know the Malzahar R button. If he has that still on his keyboard, it'll certainly be one that's pressed.
Yeah.
We got the Alistair Braum and the Draven ban as well, interestingly. So gonna take that one off the board for Indigo and keep the Sivir safe at least.
They're just getting rid of all these champs that Indigo can snowball on. Which is a good thing, which is really smart from them. Indigo is just one of those players where if he pops off, man, he's gonna pop off.
Yeah, once the snowball gets going, it's hard to stop, especially with Lucian, Draven, and Pyke, which have all been banned away. USArmy understands that and don't want to face it again here. We're going to get the Lulu, actually, from Endril. And the AD carry will be saved till last. Interestingly, you'd think you'd want to pick the AD carry here, and then pick the support last, so you actually have the counter pick.
Mm-hmm.
But they're going to lock in Lulu. I guess they're fearing maybe Chi's going to play it.
Yeah, that would make sense. That would make sense. You know, a Lulu with the comp that USArmy has so far, I think that would fill out their comp really well, especially with the Yasuo. Keeping the Sivir safe in lane so she doesn't, int. It definitely does help.
That certainly does help. The heal shield supports definitely help stop your teammates from intentionally feeding, or at least delays it for the most part.
Well, it looks like they have quite a couple knockups for the Yasuo too. If they're really going to try to get him ahead.
Yeah, there's not a ton of synergy. There's not like a Malphite, but the Galio is pretty hard to execute. But if it does execute, that's going to be a huge combo with a Yasuo. Yeah.
And is that going to be a Galio mid, Yasuo top, or the?
Well, that's actually an interesting question. I feel like you'd probably put the Galio mid to go against the Malzahar, and probably the Yasuo top lane, because I feel like that's a much better matchup into Sion. And Galio has just been more standard in the mid lane for the most part. So that's what I would do, but we'll see if and Pazzi has been, has played carries so far. We'll see what they do if they swap at the last minute here. Well, maybe
I think you are right,
Yasuo
though, yeah. I think it would be smart to put Galio against Malzahar. But, maybe they'll swap in-game.
Yeah,
we'll see how
that's
it goes.
a good point.
Yeah.
Because Alacrity could go top lane and Pazzi could play mid lane, which would make a lot of sense because, we did see that last night where we had some people lock. We had the support go top lane and the top laner go support with a Thresh. So who knows if we'll get a swap in-game. Actually, we get a last-second swap here. So it will be the Yasuo top there with Pazzi and Alacrity in the mid lane with the Galio. So they were just waiting. Oh, actually, never mind then.
Oh.
Quick remake on the lobby, maybe? Somebody messed up. We'll get that sorted in a minute here. All right. Yep.
Usually you go for the same bans and picks, right?
Yeah, I think we'll get the draft phase will stand, but I think Pure Acid disconnected or something. Yeah, yeah. So we'll get back into game momentarily. It'll just take a second. But yeah, I think those are the team comps. Which Yasuo, pretty interesting pick. Pazzi certainly says it seems like he's saying he wants to play the carry so far, and after game one, I can't really blame him. It's good matchups too, like especially against a player like Papa Skips. You know what he's gonna play, right? He's gonna play the same champions. He has a champion pool he's going to play, and they're all tanks, and they're all picks for the team, not for lane. So if you're able to play a champion that plays for lane, you can try and abuse Papa Skips in that sense.
And I already forgotten, what did Indigo pick for ADC there for that last pick?
Oh my goodness. We got Indigo. I wasn't paying attention because I was so focused on the Yasuo.
Me too.
I remember the support pick was Lulu. The support pick was Lulu, and we had Sivir on the other side for AD carry, but
was Tristana?
Might have been Tristana.
He was either Caitlyn or Tristana, right?
Yeah, I would imagine. I think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, honestly, both these team comps, looks like they both just want to go in. They just want to fight, right?
Yeah.
With the Sion engage and the Sivir Yasuo together. But this is going to be another good one going in here. It's going to be all about those skirmishes, all about that mid-game team fighting.
Okay, it looks like it is the Galio mid and Yasuo top. They didn't swap fast enough. That we have a rule, I believe, that says you can't swap after 20 seconds so that everyone can see their runes and stuff. Get all that stuff set up. So they swapped after that time because they weren't swapping fast enough. So that's why the lobby was remade. Or at least we had some dodge. Yeah, Galio mid, Yas top will be the lineup here. Okay. All right. that's all set up, and we'll remake this real quick and go through the champ select again. But we're going to be all set up here in just a minute or so. All right, back into it we go.
All right.
Try number 2.
So what did they figure out?
It's going to be Yasuo top. Yeah, Yasuo top, Galio mid. They just didn't lock it in fast enough, and that's why there was a little bit of a.
Oh yeah, they're not allowed to do that. Yeah.
Yeah, so we're just going to redo everything. Obviously, things are slightly different ordered, but it's effectively the same team comps. As we go through it again. And then we should get the Yasuo top, which, again, Sighting Seas, passive play. As he's locking that in, first pick Yasuo. And, Papa Skips on the Scion, who had, always a guy who, he looks bad for the first, 10 minutes of the game because he gets bullied around in lane, and then all of a sudden he's like, oh, that was a nice engage. That was a nice play. So
yeah, like I was saying, man, people underestimate Papa just because his laning isn't too flashy. But the guy knows his role. He knows, I'm on a tank. I need to be the engage. I need to peel. He knows how to play what he's good at.
Exactly. Sometimes refining a certain play style is more valuable than being able to play a bunch of different ones or being able to, be the carry. So.
Mm-hmm. Especially if, when you have Indigo and Angel in the bot lane, if they're able to get ahead, if every game like that, then there's nothing that Papa needs to worry about at all.
No, nothing he needs to worry about. Just needs to stem the bleeding.
Mm-hmm.
Brings a tourniquet with him for each game.
In Dota, bring an axe, cut down some trees, and
yeah, don't get the reference. I'm sure there's a mechanic there. I just don't know about.
Yeah. In Dota, you can cut down trees to heal yourself during laning or something like that.
Oh, Papa Skips would be incredible at Dota. Then he'd just be like, all right, I'm just gonna become a lumberjack. It actually perfect. He put on the Scion lumberjack skin and he just go to town on all the trees in Dota. Yeah, Papa Skips is playing the wrong game.
Yeah, Papa Skips, what are you doing, man? Why are you playing League of Legends? Play Dota.
If there's a Scion in Dota, Papa Skips would be the best player in the world. There's no doubt in my mind. It was a Tristana and Sivir here, and then it was a Lulu there for Endril and a Zyra for Chi. So should just be running that back, and then we'll hop in the game here. Slight delay, but we're gonna get there eventually. Don't worry.
Between you and me, I actually really love crit ADC meta. People hated the Ardent Sensor meta, but I had a lot of fun playing that, because you always are gonna have an ADC that's going to scale, and then you're gonna have a support that's gonna keep that ADC alive. It just makes these games a lot more interesting than seeing, stomps, 20-minute stomps every time.
Yeah, that can be a little disheartening when you have those 20-minute stomps, but certainly last game looked like it was going to be, and then it extended for a while, and we had a lot of good fights. Again, if USArmy cleans up this first 5-10 minutes of their game, I think that they could definitely go toe to toe here with Waste Potential. Just it was so hard to come back from that early deficit, but if they can clean that up, they'll be good. And we get another dodge. Thanks, guys.
Not again.
All right. All right. We'll see what's going on.
Oh, geez, what is going on?
Okay.
And
so
I'm getting
Trevor
is going to discuss the rules for this match. Apparently, is what I was told.
Yeah. So Endril just messaged me. He said that at 20 seconds of the end of the lobby, in the first lobby, they had Galio. Pazzi had Galio and Alacrity had Yasuo. So they didn't swap fast enough. Basically, is what happened. I guess they're, obviously when you're in the champ select, you have to press buttons to swap. And they didn't do it fast enough. So Wasted Potential is saying that they want them to be on those champions. They want Pazzi on the Galio and Alacrity on the Yasuo. but that's not the way they wanted to. That's not the way that U.S. Army wanted to set up. So
Yeah.
I'm not sure what the ending result will be, but we might have a situation where Alacrity is on the Yasuo and Pazzi is on the Galio, and we'll just redo the champ select like that. I'm not sure though. We'll figure that out in just a moment. But until then, we'll keep you updated, and we'll see what happens here.
Yeah. Well, I guess we can talk more about Papa Skip's going pro in Dota, right?
Yeah, Papa Skips. I think he really missed his calling, to be honest.
I wouldn't say he missed his calling. I just think if he went to Dota, he could just be like an anchor on any team. Just, hey, I'm right fucking here. You know, you can't move me. An immovable object is what they call it, right?
Exactly, right? Well, the immovable object or the unstoppable force. Which goes back. I feel like Papa Skips wins no matter what. Even if there's an unstoppable force coming at him, Papa Skips is the immovable object always. The only time he isn't the immovable object is when he's the unstoppable force playing Scion. You know what I mean? Like that's the only time he becomes. He's not. You can't get past him. It's because he's gonna go through you.
I'm getting yelled at here. I'm supposed to give a shout out to my boy Leak, ex Blizzard player Leak here. Hello, Leak. Yeah, that's it. Sorry. Just wanted to shout out, I guess.
Hey, please, we've got time. If you want to stroke Leak's ego more, it's fine. I don't mind.
Okay.
It's okay.
Well, what else can I say about Leak? I don't know. He might talk a little too much in Twitch chat. I think that's all I can say.
Too much. Calling him out. You say too much in Twitch chat.
Too much in Twitch chat, Leak. You talk too much, man.
He should just be more. He needs to be more. He needs to be more supportive. He's just too negative. Talking about people being toxic. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, come on, Leak. Yeah, chat is resident sleep acid.
It's not
Acid,
not a
are you
lie.
supposed to be playing the game right now? What's going on, man?
He just showed up and said, while everyone's arguing about the rules, Acid just showed up.
Yeah. Acid's like, let's play already.
Really, the players, really what should be implemented is the players have to be active in Twitch chat while they play. I think is a new rule that we should put together.
Yeah, I think so too. Just trash talk the enemy team while they're playing against the enemy team.
Mm-hmm. I think that would honestly. I think we should allow trash talking. I know the LCS like disables chat or something, so you can't even say GG and good luck, have fun. I think we should encourage trash talking. I'm sure that won't go horribly wrong.
There was a rule that was implemented, I think, a couple weeks ago where like you can't alt chat in game now in SFL.
Oh, already taking the wind out of my sails. I was like, we're going to do it, and then it's going to go poorly. But
Yeah.
Fallen beat me to that one.
Let's do a, what are those things called? A petition to bring it back.
Yeah, change
bring
we
back
can
alt chat.
get a change to .org petition.
Change.org for SFL.
All right, back into it. We're trying third take. We're going to get here. It's going to happen. And well, now we're just banning random stuff, I guess. And we'll get the epic conclusion to the saga of will Pazzi play Yasuo or will Pazzi play Galio?
Yeah.
What's the decision here? Who's gonna play what? What's the ruling gonna be?
Kios, I did want to point out, I think Nate pointed this out last game that my name in that last game.
I did
switch
it. Yeah. I switched it. Don't worry.
Okay.
I switched it on the champ select right away, but then I didn't switch it in the game because I've got a small brain, you know.
That's my secret, though. You ever seen me and Nate in the same room?
Exactly. I just leaked the secret that you really are the same person. That was the problem.
That was no. That's actually the big reveal of this.
That's the whole stream.
Whoa! I thought he was. I thought Acid was gonna lock in Kazakhs there. That was gonna be remake number 4.
That would have been good. Maybe that's the cost. Like, you can play Yasuo and Galio, but we get we get Kazakhs.
So it does look like Passy is playing Yasuo then.
Yeah, looks like we. That is the conclusion. Is that they just swapped late, so that we're gonna let them. Now that everyone knows what everyone's playing, we're gonna let them play what they want to here.
Yeah. Well, there's a PSA for any SFL players out there. Hey, you can't swap when there's only 20 seconds left.
Lessons learned for everyone. And
anyways,
yep. There we go.
Let's go back to talking about these team comps here. I don't know what it is, but Wasted Potential's comp reminds me of something that LCS teams would run. To be honest, you know, they have a good front to back, they have good scaling, good early game from the Jax, especially against Xin Zhao. Xin Zhao's not going to be able to apply too much pressure if Jax is able to counter gank, then able to just fight him early game. But it really does depend, though. It really does depend on how Passy deals with the Psy on top. I think if they play around Passy again, the US Army will have a better chance at winning this one than the last one.
Yeah, I think you're right about that. I think last game was about the bottom lane. I think this game's probably about the top lane and how much you can get. You know, how much you can get out of that matchup.
Mm-hmm. But this is both teams have great team fight comps, so let's see how it goes.
It's interesting when you got melee supports have been sort of the theme throughout the season 2 here. Just the overall League of Legends meta has been melee supports, but we saw the Jaina, which has come back a little bit, and now we're seeing the more ranged supports in Lulu and Zyra. So it's just kind of interesting. We're going back to a little bit more ranged supports in the meta here, in this game.
Yeah, and I really was surprised to see the Sivir pick. Like you did say earlier, Sivir, it's kind of questionable. But if that's the comp that they want to go for, is the team fight comp, with the Galio ult stacked on the Zyra ult, stacked on the Yasuo ult, right? And it's a pretty good comp, I think. I think it's a great pick. It gives them a way to engage, just to run in, press R, run in.
Just a bunch of big circles going around with these Xin Zhao ultimate as a circle. We got Zyra, Galio circles. Trying to send us a message.
Thing, right, is if Yasuo gets an ult off and then the Lulu instant polymorph. That's something to keep an eye out for.
Yeah, Lulu ultimates could be important as well.
Yeah.
There's lots of important ultimates in this game, in these team fights, of course.
Mm-hmm. But this game could go either way. It
could also be a situation where they don't decide to go for a team fight. They have Passy build more for the split push with like Blade of the Ruined King, and like frozen mallet item. Think like maybe I don't know what exactly the build would be for him, but maybe focus more on the split pushing and just try and win that way, as opposed to going all in the team fight.
But I do think the counter to that for Wasted Potential is the Wasted Potential Siege is so good. With the Tristana, the Lulu, and the Malzahar, there's no way that the US Army is going to be able to just hard engage on them.
Well, maybe you don't need a hard engage, though, because with the Sivir is the best wave clear champion in the game, pretty much.
Oh, okay.
Once she gets 2-3 items, like she just instantly deletes any wave that's not a Baron wave, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's
if she can get to the 2-3 items.
Well, that's also another thing, right? Yeah. It depends on the situation in the game, of course, but I mean, if Sivir gets there, like your siege, yeah, it's really good, and certainly over time you'll be able to get the turrets down. But I think a Yasuo versus a Sion will probably kill the turret faster than a Tristana versus a Sivir. Especially if you got the Galio splitting as well. I mean, you could have the Jax match one of them, but on the other side, right, the Sion's going to be struggling against against one of them.
That's something I didn't think about, actually, was US Army could go for like a 1-3-1 kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yasuo on the side lane, Galio on the side lane. I didn't really think about that, but that could be a possibility.
Still, like, I think that's the nice thing though, is your team is flexible because they can adjust as well team fight. If they build, if Yasuo builds Phantom Dancer and Infinity Edge, he's going to team fight just as well. So.
Mm-hmm. Oh, especially with the Phantom Dancer change now. Phantom Dancer is so good on Yasuo now.
Yeah, the shielding, it's pretty good. Yeah.
It's so good. I'm actually looking forward to this. I want to see how Passy does on Yasuo. I was impressed by his Riven. Hey, is he just like Riven Yasuo players? You know what they say about Riven Yasuo players? You live and die by the Riven Yasuo, right?
Live and die by the sword.
All right.
And
is the
here
game
we
in
are.
for you? Yep.
Immediate pause. Here we go. You've already had a lot of delays here for our second game, and we're gonna have just a few more.
And Acid with that throwing out. He's counting the pauses already. You can only have 2 pauses in a game now. That's a rule that came out last week during the off week.
Well, we will try and keep you updated on any developments here with the pause. But Chi did DC, so we're waiting on him, I think.
Mm-hmm.
So just a little bit longer, but then we'll hopefully no interruptions during the game once it started.
Mm-hmm.
But either way, of course. Oh, reconnection right away. All right, not too bad.
There we go. All right, let's get this game going. We've been we letting the people wait here.
We do have an interesting matchup in pretty much all the lanes. Mid lane the most common, but yeah, we've seen some new matchups here in top lane and bottom lane. Zyra, champion that I don't know if we've seen it all really in the SFL. One of those champions that has been barely played a few times, but not very often.
I think Zyra has been played by like probably Leek, but that's like the only person that I
Leek
really
plays.
remember.
Leek plays. He plays the weirdest stuff though.
He plays like LeBlanc and stuff.
He plays LeBlanc support. He plays freaking Fiddlesticks 3 months after it was actually good. He does
3
crazy
months after.
stuff.
The shade, man.
So I mean, like, sure, yeah, League plays it, but like League plays it, So it's like it's not really a thing.
He makes it work though. But all right, let's get.
I'm
into
not
this
saying
game.
he doesn't. I'm just saying he plays weird stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah, questionable. You see that in solo queue? That's a dodge right there.
Yeah, if I see you League lock and LeBlanc and solo queue, I'm out of there, man. I'm out of there. I'm not playing that. I'm not playing that. I'm taking the 3 LP loss and I'm moving on.
So for this game, since USArmy is blue side now, if Valencia does decide to vertical jungle, then that whole bottom side of the map is going to be controlled by USArmy. Especially with the Sivir and the Zyra, who can just constantly just shove in and get priority. Xin Zhao's going to be able to get, all this dragon control and just get the whole control of the bot side of the map. Is this gonna, if they do pull that off, it's gonna be like a complete opposite of what happened last game.
Yeah, that's sort of they're just like, all right, playing around top lane in game 1 didn't work. We're going bot lane this time. We're going completely the opposite way.
But I wonder how that's gonna work with like the Yasuo now, right? Because I feel like Yasuo also, if he's against Cyan, should he just farm up?
Yeah.
Does he go for the solo kills?
That's the problem, right? You still need to help, for the Yasuo. So yeah, they're in a bit of a conundrum there.
Mm-hmm.
Like last game too, they wanted to play around the Riven, but you also want to play around, your bot lane, who you're sort of set up to carry the game. So
yeah. Oh, and it looks like Acid is actually going to deny that scuttle. He's not going to vertical jungle. He's not going to let Valencia do this. So it seems like they have a counter plan to, what Valencia was probably trying to do.
P's gone for the red to Krugs, but Pure Acid going to take away that Scuttle Crab really early after his red buff. Indigo and Andrel certainly have the push early on because of the fact they didn't have to leash, so... Well, Alacrity does find Pure Acid here in the jungle. A double stun there from Pure Acid, but he's forced to flash away as the Ignite ticks down on him. Alacrity did take the Ignite, no TP from him on the Galio.
Mm-hmm. That was a really good collapse there on Valencia, just to go drop the Wraiths, go straight for the Jax there.
Well organized
like,
there,
yeah.
yep.
Still looks like Acid's gonna keep contesting these Scuttle Crabs.
Well, able to dodge the knockup there, and now Alacrity's going to try and help Valencia. Rutledge, very low flash, follow, first blood over to Valencia. Alacrity going to force Pure Acid away here as Pazzy and Papa Skip tuning a bash on each other in top lane, but there you go, first blood.
And that was, whew. Man, that could have gone either way, but looks like Galio, you know, he still does a ton of damage. A ton of damage. You know, he did get nerfed recently, but you don't really want to fight a Galio still in a 2v2 like that.
And now a little bit more fighting in the bottom lane here. Things are going to calm down a little bit after the first blood.
Both summoners off of Zyre. You know, Chi does not have his summoners anymore. No heals for either ADC. And it looks like he getting that back. Oh, there's another pause.
And we'll try again. Second one.
ADC lag.
All right.
Whew.
Is that Yoon Master or Indigo?
That is Yoon Master.
Okay, well he's down. He's down 10 CS, so he's got to figure out why that is. He's like, all right, I'm down CS. I must be lagging. What's going on here?
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's actually really. If he actually did lag, that's so unfortunate because of that little skirmish that happened just now, bot lane.
Yeah, a few summoner spells used there. No deaths yet, but important.
I'm surprised to still see Indigo and Angel still have so much priority in that lane. Like those two really know how to take control of their side of the map like that. It's really good for wasted potential.
Then we're gonna get a quick resume here, so everything's gonna be okay. I think. As we head back in. Many delays, but we're still chugging along here. It's game 2. USArmy Esports is down a game, unfortunately, here to Wasted Potential, and they're in their first series. Put up a good fight, but fell in game 1, and now trying to come right back in game 2. Coming out with a fiery team comp again. Lots of fighting expected in this one.
There's already been a bunch of fighting already, especially the first blood on the
exactly.
Zhao, yeah.
Did not disappoint this time.
These teams are out for blood, and they're gonna get it.
Both junglers sitting at a pretty reasonable clear pace here. Valencia at a little bit of an advantage here with that first blood. And 1 or 2 camps up here, but that should be evened up pretty quickly with Pure Acid here, and then both junglers going to get their first backs in here. Valencia with a significantly better buy because of that first blood, but on the bottom side, both AD carries struggling to put together the items. Just a call here for Indigo, and just an attack speed and some boots here for Yoon Master. So lots of early backs.
Looks like he's going for the coal. That's very interesting to see.
I saw it last night, but it's an item that certainly delays that first item, but gets you ahead economically over the course of a longer game.
Well, yeah, with the crit revert now, you know, Tristana will benefit from later in the game with the coal, but you know, they just kind of give up the early bot lane priority here for the Infernal Drake.
Well, now Pure Acid wants a piece of that Infernal Drake. He's going to go in and jump in from Indigo as well. She is very low. Malzahar coming in on the other side. It looks like it's going to be a full-blown team fight. TP's coming in. Many members already low from both sides. Pazzy comes in with his TPs on Angel. Pop Sip's going to join the fight as well, though. Decimating Smash is dodged out from Pazzy. And both teams going to head back towards that Scuttle Crab. as it dashes in between them. Bazzi trying to charge up, looking for that big tornado knock-up to win the team fight. No one has ultimate yet. And looks like they're
All
gonna
this fighting already. And
they're gonna head
nobody's
back
level
towards the mid
6.
lane here. Yeah, no one's got an ultimate. It's 6 minutes into the game, and already double TP to the bottom side of the map.
It goes to show you how much these teams prioritize that Infernal Drake.
Very, very important in this game. A jump forward from Indigo, though. The spell shield not used at the right time will eat all the damage from the bomb. So Indigo with a good trade there, and Pure Acid here gonna clear out some wards. Valencia is here in case of a dive, but looks like they're gonna call that one off and just have Pure Acid back here.
You know, I was expecting Valencia to have a lot more pressure going into this game since he did start bot side.
Well, a fight is here. Acid able to win that Smite fight, but he's still down a level. Valencia able to knock him up and use the W here, but Rutledge is going to get here first. The ultimate goes down. Malefic Visions will secure the kill as well. She comes over with a good route over the wall. Endril forced to flash away. A jump over from Indigo. He's going on to the back line. She very low. The bomb on him. It should take him out. Pure Acid with a counter-strike will dodge down the damage from June Master. Indigo jumps in, gives some mana back to you, Master, but the Boomerang will not do enough damage. Indigo flash forward. The auto will kill. Double kill from Indigo. He's gonna hop back out. The taunt is there. Needs another auto. Alacrity will get the double kill. The counter here in the top side. There's flashes all around. Rutledge is going to go back, so both mid laners survive, but the bot lanes don't fare as well, and jungles also go down. And Pazzi and Pop Skip still fighting the top side. And actually, Pazzi's going back in. Win wall, yep, he will get the kill. Solo kill up top side there for Pazzi.
Now, usually when there's action on one side of the map, right, there's no action on the other, but this game is not disappointing at all.
Valencia, he was the one to stop the fight. He's going to go and look for some fighting onto Rutledge, but it's going to calm down now, at least for the moment.
And I was so surprised to see Indigo just going for that rocket jump over the wall, just onto Chi and onto Yoon Master like that. It worked out for them, but while he has to reset, he tried to jump away. Alacrity hit him with that taunt there, just like on the edge of it.
Very, very close there. Indigo almost got away with that last jump out, but did fall in the end. Still, though, went pretty ham and got a few kills for himself. Screw the coal. I don't want to farm. I want to fight.
Yeah, come on. Who farms in League of Legends?
Yeah, I buy coal for the AD in the life on hit. That's what I buy coal for. I buy coal to fight.
More efficient than a Doran's blade, right?
Exactly. You guys are idiots. Coal's not a farming item.
This is master tier analysis.
Well, flash in from Valencia. Galliot here, and Rutledge missed the flash.
Oh,
you hate to see it, don't you?
And this game is just not very lucky.
Well, Indigo forced
for
him
the side of
below
waste
the
potential.
The heal had to come in there. Chi rooted up Indigo, and yeah, more fighting everywhere.
But this is, the way this game is going so far in the early game, with this constant fighting, that's exactly what USArmy wants for their team, right? Because if they're able to get these advantages early, especially on the Galio, he gets so much priority that eventually Valencia is going to be able to live inside.
Well, Pazzi going aggressive here on Papa Skips. He's used the ultimate. Last breath came in. A little more Q. Will find the kill. And now, ultimate used from Malzahar. Valencia going to try and peel for Alacrity, and they will get away, but flash used from Alacrity. Very, very close.
More fighting.
Yeah, they're not going to stop at any point. They don't want you to talk at all tonight.
There's 10 deaths already in this game. And that's a kill for each minute in the game now.
Yeah, it's non-stop fighting here, and some of the CS scores certainly reflect that. Everyone is well below 10 CS a minute. Just constant fighting means that, well, you got to back to get some health back, and you miss minions. So the gold is actually there in the game in total, but the CS is certainly suffering.
What I noticed so far about USArmy is their solo laners are, I would say, a pivotal part in their potential victories here, because in both games now, Alacrity and Passy, they both played really well on their champions.
And now a potential collapse here from Indigo. He's going to jump in again, finds Chi. The flash is there to save him this time. Pazzi going aggressive on Pop Tips again, finds the knock-up. Last breath, not used. Not going to commit to the all-in just yet.
Yasuo mains, you know?
They never stop fighting.
Never stop fighting.
Luckily, he's 2-0 instead of 0-2.
It's just the motto, I feel like, of both of these teams. We just never stop fighting.
Certainly is in game 2. In game 1, there was a lot of fighting, but not, a reasonable amount. This game, it just hasn't stopped at all. I'm just waiting. Both teleports are back up, which signals to me we're going to get another TP 5-man fight here on the bottom side. If there's a dragon going to be up, which should be up in a minute. So I'm expecting another 5v5 in the next couple minutes, I think.
Yeah. And is the first item Berserker Greaves on the Tristana? I've been seeing that a lot more on the crit ADCs. Is that like something that happens a lot now? Because I don't play ADC, so I have no idea.
I think it is a bit more common, yeah. I think that's become the general build path. Because of the way the crit was, well, reverted / reworked. It's all... It's closer to its original, the iteration from last year, but...
I was having a conversation with my team about, since like crit is back now, do ADCs go BF sword into Zeal item, or do they just finish the IE first? I think you'll probably see a situationally on both. Like I think on Jhin, you probably want to go just finish IE first. I think. But on other champions, you might want to get we might see the static Shiv again, like the BF sword static Shiv again. Or BF sword rapid fire, continue that sort of trend. Could also just be like gold amounts in individual games affect it. I think there's lots of different options here, and we'll probably see a build order cemented in the next couple weeks or months. Yeah, I was thinking on like champions such as Tristana, right? Since she already has an attack speed steroid built into her kit, she doesn't really need the Zeal item, so she can just go straight for the Infinity Edge. But as someone like Caitlyn, right? Maybe Caitlyn would benefit more because she doesn't really have a attack speed steroid of her own. So maybe she would do good with like RFC and a BF sword first. But there's just so many options now.
Could also matter if they have wave clear like Vayne. Maybe you say, all right, Vayne doesn't have wave clear, so I'm gonna build static Shiv. After BF sword because I don't have any wave clear built in like Caitlyn and Tristana do. Whereas Caitlyn and Tristana have the wave clear, they have the attack speed. At least Tristana does. Well. We got a fight here. Indigo flashing past. Big Knight comes down. A stopwatch is used from Chi to buy some time, and it's a real good one. Valencia comes in with another kill. He's going to flash on a pure acid. Pazzi coming in from the TP as well, and that's 4-man bot. That's 3 men dead from USArmy.
I felt like that was a huge miscommunication from Wasted Potential there. The Indigo just going in. His support and his jungler, they were sitting nearby, but it's like they looked like they just weren't prepared for him to just rocket jump into the middle of them like that.
No, that was a very... Indigo, he went pretty ham earlier in the game, but it worked out. That time, not so much. That was a little too aggressive, I think.
He pulled a wild turtle, right? That's what that is.
Yeah, that's... just shut off his brain for a second there, and then turned back on, and you realize, hey, maybe I shouldn't have done that. That's, that's me in solo queue as well. Of course.
I do like the immediate reaction on the TP, though. On Yasuo coming down there, he was able to pick up some of those kills, right? Like 2 kills on there.
Yeah, 1 kill, I think.
1 kill, but still, if you're Yasuo, anything works. And he finished his Phantom Dancer already.
Yeah, he's already got a lot of items. I think is that 100% crit? Let me see here. Should be, right?
Or no, not 100%. Agility, right? Coming back into the game.
That's only 90.
Like 80%.
I think it's only 90, right? 20
well,
plus
90
25.
out of 100 times. That's you're critting more than you're not for sure.
Yeah.
So yeah, Yasuo, man, it looks like he's strong already. Passy with another just strong individual performance this game. showing that hey, he, he can compete.
Oh, moon walk forward there from Valencia. Papa skips. He tries to stop the Rift Herald, but he immediately has to run away. And now this Rift Herald will certainly get a charge off, at least one. Yep, it's going to find the turret. A lot of damage here, but still need a little bit more to finally knock that one down. Now, oh, on the hunt. They're going forward. Valencia here. Galio ult coming down. Valencia stunned up, but oh, the Yasuo ult with a Galio ult combo comes through. Down goes Pure Acid. And Papa Skip soon follows here. Perhaps he can use a zombie to get some damage on this Rift Herald and deny the charge, but that will not be the case. The root came through for Chi. And now this inner turret is under siege as well.
And that's such a smart rotation for USA Army. After getting in the bot lane, okay, we're gonna bring everybody topside, drop the Herald, push our lead even more. And now it's a, 7k gold lead now almost on the side of US Army.
About, yeah. Get around there, but yeah. About a 7k gold lead, about closer to 6 now.
And this is like the complete opposite of last game. Now instead of US Army's bot lane, now Indigo needs to be the one to farm up, to be the one that is the carry of Wasted Potential this game, because Ass is already way far behind. He has to just be a front line at this point, along with Papa Skips. So we'll see how it plays out.
Still anyone's game. Lots of shutdowns available as well here for, Wasted Potential to pick up. And they've got shutdown on 4 members. So that's a lot of gold on the table.
Yeah, that is a lot of gold.
One big team fight and it's all of a sudden like the gold leads probably switches. Or at least gets, pretty much dead even.
Yeah, imagine if WP, they win the team fight and Tristana gets all of those kills, right? You just buy like 2 seal items just straight up right there.
Exactly.
And she did finish the coal too, so maybe the purchase on the coal there.
She's only sitting on 500 gold. She's only sitting on 500 gold right now. So not a terribly large amount. But yeah, the first item is finished. She's going to put together, a few more crit items. She'll get there.
The gold difference in the top lane in the jungle is pretty substantial already too.
Yeah, I mean, there's a gold lead everywhere, pretty much.
Yeah.
Every position has a gold lead. Support is even a huge, actually, like 1,500. More than that, 1,700 gold in the support, pretty much.
And Zyra is one of those champions where, if she has a lot of gold, she can end up just doing the most damage on the team, too.
Yeah,
so this is going to be a tough one.
Especially with all that penetration, too.
Oh, yeah.
And no one's really got MR yet. Like, the Science all armor. There's Merc Treads on one member, but that's all the MR they have, So,
yeah.
She hurts. She hurts a lot.
Yeah, I can understand why Papa would want to go the Randuins and the Bramble Vest first, but Galio and Zyra still do a lot of damage too. When you tunnel all into one type of resistance, and it probably isn't going to work out for you too well right now.
No, the engage just come through though, and Papa Skips. Well, he needed some MR there as he goes down.
Needed some MR really
Alacrity
bad.
with that kill.
Without the US Army, if they continue getting these picks, well, it looks like Wasted Potential is just going to go for the 20-minute Baron here. I think that's the only. It's just a desperate Baron call.
Very desperate here. There's 2 members moving over already. We've got a jungler in top laning here, Valencia and Pazzi coming in. Oh, flash forward from the Malzahar, finds Pazzi. They're going to get the suppression down. Down he goes. Galio comes in, but it's too late to save his teammate. Pazzi goes in, but the exhaust comes through. Azaleth's breath is used, but already killed 2 kills here. Rutledge goes down. Pure Acid and Andril, the only ones left here. And that looks like that Desperation Baron will be punished here. Triple kill for the Yasuo. Papa Skips and Andril, the only ones left now. Andril flashes away from that boomerang. And they should survive here, but yeah, that Baron did not go the way they wanted it to.
It did not go well, and even though they got a shutdown on the Yasuo, hey, he still has another 600 gold shutdown there waiting to be picked up again. I think that was a beautiful Yasuo there, just to. Cause I thought for a second there you know, Wasted Potential was gonna win that fight, but that Yasuo ult just changed everything.
Yeah, even through the exhaust, he did a lot of damage, and the CC was there, so it just completely won the team fight right off that one. And he's already got the Infinity Edge along with the Phantom Dancer, so he's looking pretty good.
And that goes to show you that those crit item changes, that was just a buff to Yasuo. You know, everybody's talking about ADC, but Yasuo got a huge buff from that.
Yeah, that was like it sort of went under the radar, right? But yeah, Yasuo was much stronger now than he was, you know, before the change to crit. So, you know, I remember, you know, a couple weeks ago, it was right. The build was like Phantom Dancer, and then
some people went like Sterix.
Yeah,
first,
Sterix second. Like, you know, just like you weren't even buying the Infinity Edge because it was so bad, you know.
Yeah.
So it's
and now, you know, you get the Infinity or the Phantom Dancer with its new passive, right, with the shield and everything. There's no reason not to take it if you're Yasuo when you're just gonna go into their team and just destroy everyone.
Yeah, I mean, Yasuo was gonna get it beforehand, you know, and now it's even a better version. Like, oh, yes, please, you know.
Yeah, right.
It's just a straight. You're right. It's just a straight buff to Yasuo this patch.
And I actually really like the Sivir pick. Once USArmy got the ball rolling for their team, the Sivir pick is helping them out a lot. It's able to provide so much utility for their team.
Getting very low here. The heal is used and will save himself. Now Papa Skip's charging forward. The Thorns do come down from Zyra. The Malzahor is there onto Valencia, the Polymorph as well. Taunt in the backline from Alacrity. The Redemption comes down trying to heal up. But right now, Pure Acid has found his way in the backline. He's not able to pick up the kill, though. Good teamwork there to keep Cheat alive. Now Pazzi in the backline against Endril. Papa skips. He's going through, trying to find his way onto Rutledge as a beast as well. Look, Visions comes down. He's taking quite a bit of damage here. Oh, the knockout comes through, and he kills Rutledge with a tornado. Now he's on to Papa Skips. Not able to quite dash over the wall and find it. And she and Pazzi almost get the kill onto Papa Skips.
Pazzi is just a man on a mission right now on this Yasuo.
Yeah, he's going. He is a true Yasuo player going forward. Never looks back. He's always going forward, looking to get that big tornado, get those kills, and when you're this far ahead, it certainly makes it easy.
Yeah, and oh man, I think what Jax was there in the backline fighting the Zyra and the Yasuo by himself, while the rest of his team were up there, you know, finishing off the Galio, right? And because Jax was back there, Valencia got away too, because all he did was just dash on top of Acid, finishing off Acid, and just surviving off of that. So right now they definitely have all kinds of positional advantages. They're just forcing things onto a Wasted Potential team that can't really answer.
Now, Wasted Potential is certainly on the other side of game one now. In the second game, they're feeling like they're playing from behind, which they certainly are now.
Mm-hmm. And
still, though, they have a good scale.
Yet.
Yeah, they still have lots of scaling though with their team comp, so that's the good news. Static Shiv is going to be the option for the Tristana, Indigo, and Yun Master are going to take the Rapid Fire Cannon on his end for their Zeal items.
Has any in the series yesterday did anybody build the Storm Razor?
Did not see a Storm Razor yesterday, I don't believe.
I'm really interested to see if Indigo was going to go for that, or maybe just a second Zeal item.
Well, here we go. We get another team fight here. Pazzi is trying to go forward again, but Polymorph is used. Now Galio's going to come down. Valencia bought some time with a stopwatch. Papa skips, though. He's tanked up everyone in the backline for a while here with his Lulu ultimate. He's so tanky. Pazzi, though, he's looking for some damage on Indigo, but Indigo's still staying safe. Windball is used, and we'll deny those shots from Indigo from the backline, though, so that's still a one-team fight. 3-for-1. And USArmy Esports is looking good.
Now, Indigo's positioning was really good that fight, but the Yasuo wall, right?
Flash forward from Alacrity. He's going to find Indigo under the turret. Hops away, but he's only just got so much time left, and Pazzi finally picks it up out the end. And that should be the inhibitor.
And right when I start praising Indigo, he just gets flashed on by the Galio taunt. Really
immediately after.
Yeah.
Bad timing.
With the Papa skips, he stopped Alacrity's ult. He stopped the Galio ult, but they don't need the Galio ult to win the team fight. Like, they're so ahead at this point that, yeah, we don't need the Galio ult. You know, we have so much AoE already.
Yeah, the Galio certainly helps out with that damage reduction, but it seemed like it almost wasn't needed, like you said, at a certain point. They just won that team fight so convincingly.
So right now, just Papa Skips, he's just dying so fast. You know, he's the only front line right now. The Jax picked by Acid, you know, that if he's not doing his job early game at shutting down the Xin Zhao, then he's just another frontliner that just dies really fast against this team. You know, plus, you know, still really no MR on the side of Wasted Potential, and I think Zyra plants are just eating them up right now too.
Yeah, very, very scary damage. They don't really have a true frontline either, right? The U.S. Army doesn't have a true tank. Like, the Alacrity isn't Tank Galio of past years. He's very much an AP source with a little bit of health to back it up.
Yeah, who needs a tank when you have a 9-1 Yasuo, right?
That's true. That also helps.
Yeah, with the, you know, the Xin Zhao ultimate, just to block the Tristana autos, and then the Yasuo win wall. Most of the damage on WP is on Indigo. So if you have those two things, then there's really not much WP is really doing.
Oh, here we go. The Baron does go over. A steal from Pure Acid over the wall. He's going to fall. But now Pazzy's looking for some revenge after that Baron was stolen. They find the kill onto Lulu as well. So 2 members down.
That is an angry Yasuo right now.
Oh, the tornado will be flashed away from Papa Skip's very afraid of that one.
They stole the Baron, but like Thanos said in the Avengers movie, you know, you ask him, what did it cost?
It feels like just about everything here. The game's probably going to end off this push. Flash forward there from Valencia, finds Indigo. He's already dead. Just the Malzahar and Cyan left. Rutledge and Papa Skips trying to make this thing happen. Keep this game alive, but one Nexus turret already down. The second one will follow. Malzahar is used, but Valencia going to revive out of that Guardian Angel. Now Papa Skips, Decimating Smash, complete whiff there. Passing the backline, last breath, finds it. Again, another exhaust, but he still gets it. A double kill. A big shutdown, but a double kill there in the end for the Galio, and that will be the end of the game, so that'll do it. 1-1 in the series here, tying it up. U.S. Army is not done.
They are not done, and that was definitely a way better game for U.S. Army than the first one for sure.
They looked much, much stronger in that one. They came out of the gate swinging and never stopped. Like last game, it was sort of back and forth a little bit in the mid game, but this game it was U.S. Army pretty much all the way.
And like you mentioned, you know, if U.S. Army makes a few changes in the early game, then they would do a lot better, and that's what they did this game. Exactly that. The early game went great. They knew that they could fight in these little skirmishes, the 2v2s, like the First Blood on Valencia when it was the Galio Xin Zhao versus the Malzahar Jax. They knew that they won that 2v2, so they just took all the advantages that they could to make that happen.
Looks like we'll be getting right into game 2 here. Already made, or game 3 rather. Already made the lobby, so a few delays in game 2, but not for game 3, I think.
The question for me is he going to pick Yasuo again? Is that going to be banned this game?
Well, that's the question, right? But then do you ban the Riven as well? That's the situation when you put yourselves in. Is like after this game, like what is the policy there on Pazzy in the top lane? Because he's looked real good in both games.
I feel like for this game, Wasted Potential needs Indigo on Angel on something that actually just hard stomps the lane, like someone just wins lane really hard, because the Tristana and Lulu, you know, they have to scale. And if that's Wasted Potential's win condition, then they just need something that can just win lane and snowball off of that. Because if that doesn't happen, as we saw that last game, Passy's just going to run all over the top side of the map doing whatever the hell he wants.
Exactly. Exactly. He's had the pretty much the run of that matchup so far, which has caused quite a few problems for them. And yep, got one side already readied up, so should be good to go here and get into Champ Select already for Game 3, which is our deciding game of the night. As it sits 1-1 right now.
This is gonna be a really good one here. If
I
US
believe
Army,
it. Yeah.
if US Army can pull this off, man, they just beat the #1 team, right? And they're looking good already. They're gonna be a menace in this SFL league, I think.
All right, already into Champ Select, we got the Syndra ban again here against Alacrity, and so we've already seen some changes with the Lucian was banned in Game 2, but now going to be the first ban in Game 3, so probably going to see something different on both sides. Yep, there we go, the Yasuo ban.
Wow.
Kha'Zix's going to be of course, the standard ban against Pure Acid. And Thresh gonna be the last one for Wasted Potential. So yeah, pretty different look there. Just the Yasuo has been really the change from Wasted Potential over the course of the series, but that means the Zed is open here. If Alacrity wants to pick that, maybe that's an option now.
Well, what I don't understand is why are they still banning the Syndra? Alacrity has shown that he can play other champions, right? Better team fighters like Oriana and the Galio, but they keep going after the Syndra.
Well, Jax is going to be the ban here. That means Xin Zhao is open, and that means Pure Acid is going to take it. First pick is going to be the Xin Zhao, which I still think you ban the Xin Zhao first over the Jax to me. Like,
yeah, the Xin Zhao is showed that last game, right?
Yeah, without first
Jax
pick.
to counter it.
Without first pick, I'd imagine he'd ban that Xin Zhao, but they're gonna go Camille, so they're gonna take a very aggressive early game. Well, this could be passing the top lane, but you'd think it'd be the jungler in Valencia.
Well, Camille jungle has gotten nerfed.
Oh, that is true.
Substantially.
Does not stun monsters anymore. That is a good point.
Like her clear was already not ideal before, and now it's just not good at all.
That's a good point. Well, maybe this will be top lane then.
Well, knowing Valencia though. Well, what we've seen so far the past couple games is he really does like to gank. So maybe he's just going for like the chain gank Camille, right? Instead of just farming up the jungle.
I mean, that is true. Like, Team had also got nerfs. So yeah, Camille's clear is really bad. So maybe it will just be Camille ganks, ganks all the time. It basically never stops. That's an option. It could also be a flex pick right now. Maybe they don't know where it's going to go yet, and they're just playing it by ear to see the top lane.
And there's that Caitlyn.
So we will get Caitlyn in Game 3. Have not seen it yet, but we're going to get it now against the Sivir, which is a pretty good matchup. 150 range advantage seems good to me. And we're going to hit Shen.
This is what I'm excited to see. Papa skips on Shen. I think it's a 100% win rate right now, right?
I think so. I can't remember him losing on it, at least that I've seen. And he's been good on it, so why not try it again?
And I also think Shen, with this ADC meta, changing, Shen is really good, for champions like Caitlyn, Tristana, Jinx, and that kind of thing, right? Because he's just, he gives you the shield. He is able to heal so well. So I really do like this pick coming from Papa Skips.
Gives you some more map, pressure, and with Jinx out, you can shield him as he goes in, and pop out, get some more, taunts going on. I think a lot of synergy there. Malzahar going to be the first ban of the second phase here, as Lissandra was picked up in the mid lane for Alacrity. So no crazy aggressive things in the mid lane. Just going to be the Lissandra.
I'm going for another team-oriented mid laner there, which has worked for them really well so far.
Certainly. Morgana going to be the ban there, Sejuani. So there is A lot of options here in terms of supports. Really, not too many bans on that front. Two are of course, but you have Braum. Well, not anymore. You have Alistair. You have a lot of playmaking sports, and we can just go run it back with the Lulu Zyra again. We could do that matchup. So there's still a lot of options for both sides here. As Chi will be in for game 3.
Mm-hmm.
And Olaf's being hovered, so that might just mean that's Camille top.
Yeah. So it looks like it will be the Camille top and the Olaf jungle. Which is what? They're just going to go for the hard dive, hard engage again? Because Lysandra can just go into the middle of the team, activate her ultimate.
Yeah, this seems like a very scary engage.
Yeah.
You're from USArmy. Like they have a lot of engage, and the Sivir to get them there. Like Sivir Olaf is actually an underrated combo.
Mm-hmm. Oh, and they're just going basically for the team comp they went for last game. Just fixed up a few different. There's a few different picks, but it's the same goal in the end. It looks like a similar comp in the end. Hell, this one has even more CC than the last one.
Very, very true. A lot more CC. Gonna be Veigar on the other side there for Rutledge. But yeah, you've got two pretty immobile carries now against a very hard engaged team comp on the other side. This is not like waste of potential. Like it's not at their it's not like a hard counter by any means, but I feel like they are pretty vulnerable. Like now with a Jaina as well, they feel pretty squishy in the backline here. They just have Shen for a tank, really. Like this is looking, and maybe this is a Blitzcrank lock in. That could be very, very scary. Nope, gonna go back to Zyra. It looks like. So will be some more range supports in the bottom lane.
And once again, Indigo is basically has to be the carry of wasted potential. Right now, they have to scale through the Caitlyn because I don't think Veigar is not going to be able to do enough against all that. If Olaf's running at Veigar, what is he going to do? Like just USArmy's team, just a hard engage. This is just looking really scary for wasted potential. They have the Janna, but it's just Janna. Janna ult doesn't really do too much.
Yeah, because Lysandra is a blink with her E.
Mm-hmm.
Could stop the Camille, but she doesn't really stop two prime. She doesn't stop Olaf or Lysandra really with her tornado or her ultimate. So her peel isn't really as valuable. Cage again only stops, like Lysandra can get past the cage with her E. Olaf can get through it. So yeah, this is a pretty scary team comp to face if you are wasted potential.
Gonna come down to what is Acid going to be able to provide in the early game to propel his team to actually be self-sufficient in the mid game. I expect this team to be this game. I think there's gonna be a lot of fighting again. Just knowing these two teams so far.
They certainly liked fighting. They certainly didn't like just being pacifists. So I can't imagine we're going to get a very inactive first couple minutes, but Pure Acid certainly does have the option to pressure the lanes in a way that keeps the fighting at, not at a minimum. Like he's probably going to be fighting, but certainly gets the team into a spot where they can fight against the team, running at them, right? Like if you can, if the Caitlyn is fed, right? Like, yeah, you can run at the Caitlyn as an Olaf, but if she just kills you before you get there, not super helpful. And she certainly can with the support she's got, and Veigar damage. So once they fall behind, waste potential really is a tough time. But
yeah, that's true.
They certainly have a very strong team comp at the later stages.
What they have to be careful of though is when it gets to around the level 6 for everybody. WP's comp bot lane, at least, they're so diveable. They can just USArmy can just 5-man dive them. So the Shen is really good there, and the Veigar, the double TP is really good for making sure the dives go in wasted potential's favor instead. But if they're not thinking about that, then that really is going to catch them off guard. because it's so easy for US Army to dive with their.
It certainly is. Once they get their ultimates available, the dives are going to be pretty easy for them. But yeah, if I had to pick a champion that would be good at defending against dives, like Shen is certainly one of them. So they do have that defensive capability with the Shen ultimate. Usually want to be proactive with it. It's usually an offensive tool, but certainly defensively can be good this game.
Yeah.
They've got a lot of map mobility right now.
If US Army wins the early game here, then they'll just win the game. They'll be able to snowball and just win the game off of it. But let's hope it's not going to be a stomp or anything. I'm excited to see a long game full of fights. I want to see a fiesta.
Well, we should get to experience that pretty soon as we're done with spectator delay, and we should get into game pretty soon.
No remakes this time, so that's good.
Hopefully not. Will there be? Who knows?
Hello?
There we go. Oh. Alright, I'm an idiot. But we're all good. We should be good in a second here. As we load in. I just clicked on the wrong voice channel, but... Okay, and we're loaded into game here. We got game 3 of US Army Esports versus Wasted Potential. Off and running, and looks like we might have an invade to start off. We got 5 members strong here.
All right, I am back.
We got 5 members strong of US Army Esports coming down the bottom lane. Some potential for an invade.
Yeah, this is a really big invade that a lot of teams are actually doing right now, where they wrap around the bot bush and invade the try.
Was spotted an award, I believe. Oops.
It looks like Wasted Potential is taking safety precautions here. They know let's just get out of here, guys. It's not worth it to stay.
Spent a few wards, but are safe in the end, and that's what they want. As Olaf has already used all of his mana with these axes. He'll probably will he head back, though? Actually, if he doesn't head back, he'll be very low on mana to start off.
I think he's actually starting his blue.
Oh, his blue. Okay, that makes sense. It's all good, then. And
okay. Well, a little back and forth there. Xin Zhao starting the red. But they're choosing to... Camille is choosing to stand there and contest it.
Yeah, this seems very risky. Yeah, the Smite's going to come in for pure acid and he'll get out of there. But Camille very low is going to TP right away.
Oh, and a flash from acid onto alacrity. Flash for flash, but I don't think that was worth it.
I mean, if you're planning to regank, maybe it is.
Yeah, it makes sense, yeah.
It is a very aggressive early on, but it gets an advantage because the health chunk is also big for your mid laner to work with. So some summoner spells already used here for US Army Esports. Taunt in the top lane lands, Papa skips, pure acid with the gank here onto Pazzy. Won't find the kill.
Now, if Xin Zhao had flash there, right, Pazzy probably would have died.
That is, yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah.
Not worth.
Not worth. Not worth.
That is the unfortunate life of a jungler. You flash for one laner and you can't help the other one. Now another taunt lands for Papa skips. The hook shot back. An even trade overall in the top lane. Both players very low and out of corrupting potion charges.
And Papa is able to play this aggressive because of the vertical jungling that the junglers are doing right now. Acid just taking control of the top side jungle, while Olaf is on the bottom side. I am curious to see if they're going to try to actually dive the Caitlyn and the Janna early here. Looks like
Nope, they're gonna back off, it looks like. Very, very early to dive, I think.
Yeah,
we're only at 3.5 minutes, guys. Well, Chi found a root there on Andrew. The Ignite goes down, but no potential to kill yet.
You never know. You never know, man. These teams, we saw last game. 10 kills in 10 minutes.
Yeah, they are aggressive. They're not following up on that pace quite yet, but we might see a big fight to get us back on track. And Pazzy already used that Ignite, or used that Teleport very early on, so he's forced to walk back to the lane this time. Popskips has also held on to his TP, so a TP advantage remains in the top lane, which could be a pretty big, cooldown early, later in the game, if they can get a big roam off. And now Pazzy and Papa skips back to lane at even health. Some aggressive trading early on, but things are going okay. Camille definitely looking to get some big split push going on later in the game.
And this game is definitely a lot slower than the past two games.
Well, Valencia's here for a gank the top lane. The hookshot misses though. Good flash away from Papa skips. So both top laners have perceived ganks and been forced to flash.
Really good gank, but now Cassie is going to be able to freeze the lane there. Now Shen without a flash is a little scary, especially against an Olaf. So that was a good gank overall by Valencia there.
Solid,
early
solid.
Drake. Wow.
Yeah, that's level 3, and that's probably not going to work out. Valencia's level 4, and Pure Acid's already dead. First blood over there.
That's a big mistake from Acid there. That's really early Drake. Really ambitious by Acid there. That's
maybe for Warwick that makes sense. I don't know. I don't know for Zinzao level 3.
Well, even with Warwick White, I feel like any jungler, if you don't have your jungle item completed, if you're only level 4, going for Drake is kind of scary, especially when their bot lane has priority too. I think just overall that wasn't really thought through.
No. Was not a good decision there, I don't think.
Maybe it works in solo queue, but in an environment like this, that's not going to fly.
Because people are actually paying attention to objectives in this, so
yeah.
No free dragons here.
But now it does look like the bot lane on Wasted Potential side has priority now, and Zinzao might be going for a lane gank.
Papa skips with a good. He's down 2 levels, but he's holding his own in this trade so far. As he's trying to get aggressive, but takes a turret shot, getting very low. And Papa skips, despite being down 2 levels, I think kind of won that trade there. Valencia's trying to make that not a fair fight, though. And looks like they're just going to push the top lane, maybe go for some plates here.
That was this is just the result of what happened earlier, from the gank from Valencia. Passy was able to freeze the lane. Papa Skips wasn't able to contest the wave or anything like that. So he's now down 2 levels. And so, once again, USArmy this game, they're going to play through top side as well. If Cassie's going to be able to just carry like he did last game, then why not, right? Why not just keep going top, play through that? Doesn't look like Wasted Potential is making any changes to counter that.
Big CS lead developing there for sure. 39-22 right now. Yeah, Papa down a level 2 in experience. He's holding his own, but yeah, a couple plates already taken off there. And in the bottom lane, we've got a 10 CS lead there. Indigo doing pretty good. But we're gonna get a gank here. Lacrity's going forward. The ult is landed. The flash forward finds him. Lacrity trying to go forward. Shen ult is used defensively. Night ticks though. Indigo survives though. Now level 6. Alacrity trying to find the kill, but not enough. Rutledge is here with his TP. Double kill for Rutledge. And now Acid's going forward onto Yoon Master. And he will survive, I think, with enough movement speed. Oh no, the cage does land. Will Rutledge find the last little bit of damage he needs? No, he will not. And that
Even
will
without
mean that he
that,
survives.
Yeah, even without that kill, I think that was pretty executed. That was executed pretty well by Wasted Potential. And even though Shen wasn't able to complete his ultimate, the shield still goes on Indigo, saving him. And you know, the Vygar just roamed down, right? He didn't even TP or anything.
Well, speaking of roaming down, Valencia's here. He'll find the first kill on Angel. Now Rutledge in trouble. The red buff is available for Valencia, so he's continuing to slow him up with his axes and the red buff. And yeah, it's just a matter of time before he goes down in the shutdown over Valencia. As Pazzi goes aggressive on the pop skips here, the ult is going to be used. And now last W and flash in for the auto. Pazzi will pick up the solo kill in the top lane. And now looks like, well, US Army Esports, they're looking pretty good here in Game 3.
They are definitely looking pretty good, yeah. They had a little, you know, little mistake there when they tried to go for that bot lane, and Wasted Potential was able to get the counter gank off. But I think Wasted Potential overstayed their welcome there, and they got cleaned up by Valencia. So US Army, pretty good early game. A big difference these past 2 games than the first one for sure.
Now Alacrity and Valencia. Yeah, they're looking for a little sneaky play into Rutledge. Claw goes forward, Alacrity will find the ultimate down onto Rutledge. The cage is there, but it doesn't really matter. Down he goes, and into an Ice Coast he transforms. A little chilly.
He had to throw out the ult there, right? There's really nothing that Rutledge could have done. Just throw out the ult. Maybe I can do more than 300 damage on her at level 1.
Yeah, that's a tough one. That's a tough one there. That's a rough death for him. Now, Pure Acid trying to go aggressive on the top side. Papa Skips lands a taunt. Pazzi is in quite a bit of trouble here. No flash to get away, but he will just walk out. No return damage now with the... Oh, no. Predator's coming in. Valencia's here. He's looking to clean up these kills. Pure Acid immediately taken down. Papa Skips getting low on the other side. Endril, though, will get knocked up by the Thorns from Zyra. Down he will go. Yoon Master picks up that kill. Pazzi. Oh, Papa Skips with the last little taunt will get away, but...
Just all around the map, the US Army is able to get so many advantages now.
And, well, that play looked pretty good from the start there for Wasted Potential, but all of a sudden it got turned around, and that has been sort of the theme of their plays so far.
And, you know, that's why this game right now, with the current meta, it's all about having priority. Because if you're able to have priority in all your lanes, you know, top, mid, bot, your jungler has free reign to track their jungler, make sure their jungler can't help his lane, right? So if you have priority, you can support your jungler and
oh no!
Oh, well, okay. That was a big mistake by Passy there.
Well, then actually, they won't be able to get the first turret now. So the turret will stand because Valencia and Pazzi did not juggle Yago quite the way they needed to, and down they go. Pazzi falls.
A bit greedy there.
Is an execution, no kill, but now the Claw goes forward and Alacrity finds Indigo again. It seems almost unfair. Shen ult used defensively again onto Angel to save him from Chi, who is going to solo kill his opposing support.
But I actually think Angel would have lived there though through the...
Well, now Pure Acid's trying to solo kill Chi. Then the stopwatch is there, and that's almost unfair. Pure Acid will get away with his own ultimate, saving him a little bit of health, but now Rutledge is going to be taken down by Pazzi with that last Q to the face.
And just everywhere this camera goes right now, we just see US Army getting a little more and more ahead of Wasted Potential.
Yeah, it's just each play is like, all right, well, there's a kill there. Well, they didn't quite get a kill there, but they burned Shen ultimate. And then all of a sudden there's kills over this way and that way, and it's real rough for them right now.
Yeah, and you know, if it wasn't for Acid's ultimate there, he would have died too. He did not expect that stopwatch from Zyra at all.
Yeah, the stopwatch was super key there. I think that was a rune stopwatch, I'd assume. So getting a lot of value out of that one. Again, this is probably better than game 1, though. Like, US Army had a really rough game 1, and I think Wasted Potential is probably having a better time in this early game than US Army did in game 1, and they actually came back and made that game competitive, so we've certainly seen bigger swings in this series.
Yeah, they definitely still have
yeah.
a lot of opportunities to come back into this game. But it definitely is going to be really hard, though, since all the money is basically on Camille and Olaf, and they're just going to be able to dive over and over again.
But you know, hey, you got some good wave flip champions here. We got a Veigar and a Caitlyn. They aren't bad by any means.
Yeah, of course, and they also have Janna too. So if Angel's able to get off a good Janna ult, disrupt their engage with a tornado or something, then it will help them a lot. But right now it does come down to, will Wasted Potential make more mistakes or not, right? Because the less mistakes they make now, the better it will be for them.
That's, you know, you could get worried about being pulled apart by the split push too. Camille's already working her way on the top lane, trying to get some more there, and the Rift Herald's being taken right now. She actually got a big shot to the face there from the Caitlyn. And he goes still firing away. And with this Janna, like, they actually have pretty good 2v2 despite being behind.
Yeah, that's true. Because they were actually ahead in CS, ahead in the lane before, you know.
Exactly, yeah.
They were rudely interrupted by the jungler.
Pazzy gonna go forward again with a flash, and he follows Rutledge past the cage. Oh, that was a fantastic play from Pazzy and Alacrity together. Gonna find the kill onto Rutledge through the flash and the cage. That was just spectacular.
Pazzy is just doing some highlight reel plays this whole set.
He's looked really good. And he got caught by those thorns. Doom Master gonna go forward here. She coming here, but a counter gank from Pure Acid onto this all-in. Acid gonna be forced to use his ult defensively. Now Chi firing back alongside Yoon Master, but again, another play that requires a 3-man down here, and they didn't get anything really for it for Wasted Potential. And now, Alacrity and Valencia are coming down as well. Rift Herald going to be dropped here. TP is coming in from, I think that's Rutledge. Yeah, Rutledge is going to join here. Papa Skip's making his way down, but he's got to walk. Rift Herald's working its way through these minions before it can charge. Protobelt used to clear out those minions. Oh, Alacrity going to cancel that claw. Not going to follow it.
US Army is going to commit to this, though.
And we'll get the turret.
Camille's going to be able to just split push for free now, though, too. Oh, it draws out the Shen teleport, though.
Gets the TP back. But Camille has gotten some farm, and well, didn't get much damage on the turret, but was able to push the wave all the way in. And got the TP out, which is a big cooldown. There will be a slight window, I think, where the Baron is up, and TP is not up for Papa Skips. May have ultimate, but will not have TP. Do have that redemption build again from Valencia, and of course the Triforce for the Camille on the top lane there, and Protobuilt for Alacrity in the mid lane. So standard item choices for all of them. Oh, good interruption there with a tornado, able to dodge the stun there from Pazzy, but Pazzy's, well, he's got plenty of damage here. Going to force a flash up from Endrol and the Shen to ultimate defensively there, trying to save his teammate there with a shield.
I think that's the third time now that Papa Skips has saved Angel with the Shen ult there.
Yeah, they've had to use it defensively literally every time, and it has really nullified this Shen pick. Yeah.
But
it's still less deaths, but like the Shen pick you want to be using aggressively. If they get nothing for it, they use it defensively, sure they see it Angel's life, but then it's like, alright, well, we didn't really get anything for the ultimate. They're not able to turn it back around on the Pazzy and kill him. You know, if that was the case, I think it'd be worth it, but you know, at this point it's really not looking too good.
US Army is definitely getting what they want so far out of this early game, now transitioning into the mid game. 20 minutes coming up now, the Sivir ult going in.
Pazzy gonna miss that hook shot on Indigo. Actually, a pretty good trade for Indigo there. He got a lot of damage back, and Valencia looking for, or Pure Acid looking for a potential counter kill here. Pazzy should get hook shot in a moment, though. Actually, he's gonna go back aggressively here. That's going to force him away. The redemption was there to help him out.
Yeah, it would definitely look like Acid really, really wanted to fight that Camille there. Maybe getting a little desperate for any sort of advantage, any sort of opportunity to get back into the game. But, you know, like last game, there are a lot of big shutdowns.
Still lots. 650 there on Passy. We got 750 on Valencia, 450 on Alacrity. Lots available here. Another good note for them is it's triple Cloud Drake. So if there were ever 3 Cloud Drakes you wanted to give over to a team, it'd be 3 Cloud Drakes.
Well, against Olaf and Camille and Sivir.
Well, I'm trying to give them bright spots. Okay, like, yeah, it's good. Olaf likes Cloud Drakes, but I'm trying to like come up with reasons that this is good for them. Actually, Rutledge just found G there, big chunk out. Didn't use the Primordial Burst though. He might have actually found a kill if he had.
I don't think he was in range to actually.
Oh, maybe that could be the case.
Yeah. But that is, you know, like what Rutledge was trying to do there. That's definitely how they will come back into the game. If they can get picks like that, if somebody is walking by themselves getting vision or something, that's definitely a way for them to get back into the game.
Might have lost vision too over the wall. That could have been also.
Yeah, that is another thing too.
Whatever the reason, not able to find the kill there. And now, well, the Caitlyn traps will deny the siege for a little bit. And Pazzy gets chunked out. The Primordial Burst! Ooh, okay.
Was beautifully executed.
He was saving it for that. Oh, now Zyro goes down. We'll find a couple knockups, but Chief forced to run away. Papa Skips going aggressively here. Pure Ass in the backline as well. Papa Skips is tanking up so many members right now in the backline. And Master and Chi can turn this around. Valencia finds the kill. Double kill for him. The Axis miss. Alacrity, meanwhile, on the backside has been dealing with 3 members of Wasted Potential.
Yes, and it looks like they're gonna just be able to get this tower here for free as well.
Overall, a 2-for-1 trade, and they still got their AD carry alive. So USArmy Esports, yep, get the turret there. The first one in the mid lane.
Rutledge getting the pick on Passy there was really good, but I felt like Acid was a little too overzealous, just dashing into the middle of the team with a Shen on him when his backline was nowhere close. They were getting zoned out by the Lysandra. No, they got ulted by the Zyra ult. So that just zoned them, and they weren't able to follow up with Acid's engage. So that was a bit unfortunate, but it was well played by USArmy there, though, to be able to split up Wasted Potential.
Now fight over the blue buff. Valencia will not find that steal. Acid gets the win, but now forced to flash away. Pazzy's going to follow here, but he finds the ultimate on Endril, not the target he wanted. Alacrity going to dump his ultimate into Rutledge. And actually, they might just find the kill. They do. Valencia with that one. He goes godlike. Papa Skips now, again, using that ult offensively. Will not be able to save his teammate and has forced to run away. She takes a lot of damage from that tower, but overall, another kill.
Another
pick
kill.
from USArmy.
Another kill and counting for USArmy.
13-3 right now. Quite a big difference. 35-29 in gold. 1,000, of course.
This is where those 3 Cloud Drakes come in. They're just able to rotate from lane to lane, jungle to jungle. So
now
fast.
Pazzy's in trouble. He doesn't have movement speed to get away. He goes down underneath the turret, and Valencia forced to run away with his own ultimate.
Passy definitely getting going a little too hard there. Gets punished by V-Tower and Acid showing up just in time.
A little bit too deep that time. Luckily, I didn't go over the 1,000 gold shutdown over on Valencia right now, so that's good at least.
The next play for USArmy is definitely looking to somehow secure this Baron and just sieging to end the game. And if Wasted Potential is able to get more picks like they have been doing on Passy, then they can still get back into this game. The gold lead is not too much. It's only about 6k. At this point of the game, they can still definitely come back.
Now, the 22.5-minute mark, we are significantly apart in the items available for both teams here. Wasted Potential just trying to scrape together the items they need. On the other side, though, A lot of item completions here. We've got several items on our Olaf. Got that Infinity Edge coming in for Yoon Master alongside that Rapid Fire Cannon, while Indigo's still trying to put together his. So definite advantage here, but they do have, you know, everyone's got at least one item. That's the upside I'm looking for here.
Yeah, everybody does have one item. Yeah.
And now we're going to get the 4th Drake of the game here. It's going to be a mountain, which will help out this eventual Baron take here. Have not made a move towards it yet. Perhaps that'll be the next objective here, is set up vision on this. But Andrel's walked in completely the wrong direction. He's walked straight through. He's going to save himself with his own ultimate and the heal from it. She's going to miss the final damage he needs.
He gets out of that.
Very, very lucky. He completely pathed the entirely wrong way there. He like walked right next to the enemy team.
It looks like right now USArmy is going for the 4-1 split push with Camille top. I don't think there's anybody who can actually deal with the Camille right now. Nobody can 1v1 there.
Pure acid.
Well, it looks like
force
acid
uses-
is.
Oh,
He's getting 1v1 by the support on the enemy team. It looks like they're going after the Baron now. If
Vision
Wasted
is
Potential
here.
don't stop this, then I think USArmy can just end the game.
yeah, there is vision for them. They have knowledge of this. Wasted Potential saw it with a ward, which they are currently TPing on. Pazzi goes forward, but missed the hook shot. Redemption is used early. Papa
Really good
skips.
Sibrel to get out of there for the disengage.
Got Lissandra pushing on the bottom side here. Not exactly the split push you wanted, but it's still good pressure on the turret.
It is working for them. They don't have anybody that can really go back. They're just running down there. But what if they show up to the Lissandra? They just go back on the Baron now.
Do you think you can keep doing this, pulling them apart, having Lissandra
they just-
split?
I think they can just keep doing it. Yeah, definitely. Because they still have the Vigard teleport. But this is one of those moments where like it's now or never, right? Like if they don't win this now, then they're not gonna win the game.
But she's caught in entirely the wrong place, and
Yeah.
Acid will pick up that kill. Thank you very much. Now
It's a really
that
good
pick,
pick off on Chi.
that pick really helps, because now they can't pull them apart with this Baron pressure. They're gonna have to reset and wait for this support to spawn, and that'll give some time for Wasted Potential to get some items and push back these minion waves.
And I do like what Wasted Potential is doing. They seem like they are being a lot more decisive now. Just deciding to, hey, we're going to commit to contesting the Baron. So decisiveness right now for them is going to be huge.
Potential pick off on the sideline here. Pazzi, well, no, he'll be okay. That's the split pusher you want, though. I'm surprised he wasn't in the bottom lane last time. Did have TP, whereas Alacrity didn't. But I guess that was just the positions they were on the map at the time. So they were like, oh, we want to pressure bottom lane, and so he was there. But yeah, I think they want to get Pazzi into the bottom lane here, right? Start that split push.
Yeah, they definitely want to do that. There is no teleports on the side of Wasted Potential, so nobody can really, like, they have to match Passy, but they also have to defend the Baron. So they're just in this really awkward situation where they don't really have control over what they can do, right? So it's either one or the other. But I definitely will tell them to contest that Baron over defending against Passy, though. Because with Baron, at least they have the potential to come back into the game.
Again, his vision for Wasted Potential. I know the Baron has been started. Pazzi's making his way to the bottom lane, but he's not there yet.
And
Shen
that's
is
exactly
there.
what we talked about. But Passy can stop the Shen Fan United too.
That could be a huge... Oh! Flash forward. No, Steel comes in, though. There's going to be a team fight, though. It's 4v4 on this side. Valencia uses the ultimate already. Chi forced to kite away. He's already chunked out. Baron will go over the... Actually, they're going to back straight in the pit. Alacrity will be forced to stay, but he's already going to kill Endro before anything happens. He doesn't have any way to get out, though. He has already used his claw cooldown.
Is he just going to kill Acid?
Looks like, yeah, he's going to go down. Pure Acid got very low, but Indigo was there to help him out.
Well,
now,
no,
Passy,
Alacrity still have Flash. Why didn't he just flash over?
the world may never know, but Passy will pick up the inhibitor turret here on the other side. He's doing Papa skips. Use the Hextech ultimatum onto him. He will find... Oh, that's a big chunk there with the last little bit of health.
Alacrity went down, though, the USArmy got what they wanted. Passy was able to stop the Shen Stand United too. Oh, and he's just going back in to kill Acid there.
Well, he's trying, but he's going to be forced to flash away before he can. Chi on the other side has dodged out on the cage, but the Primordial Burst lands. Not quite enough. Oh, the last Q will get him. Dark Harvest. Rutledge will pick that one up. He's not getting one going by this port anytime soon.
Yeah, and he's like, no, sir, not me.
Forget he had a Janna next to him. That's not relevant.
Yeah, I think USArmy might be playing a little too aggressive now. I guess they can afford to, but it's just helping WP get back into the game more and more.
Gonna be the Ocean this time here.
We can see Caitlyn did go for the rapid fire cannon instead of the static shift here. Though I think the static shift would have been better just for the wave clear, right? For the wave clear and for the AoE. But, you know, it's just one of those things where ADCs can just really go wherever, whatever they want, right? There's so many options, like we talked about earlier.
Well, it has been mirrored builds up till now, right? You got, you know, the Infinity Edge and Rapid Fire from both sides, and then the Zeal, so it will be a second Zeal item for both. Before anything else. And the stack shift did come in from Indigo as a second Zeal item. So it's pretty much mirrored up till now. Like you said, they do have lots of options, but the crit builds seem to be staying pretty similar. Despite Phantom Dancer's change, 80 carries aren't picking that up quite yet, or at least maybe they will soon, but they're not right now. Just the Yasuo going to be picking that one up still.
And right now, I think the question for me is, are they going to commit to the split push? Or will it be better for them to just 5-man? Because if they group as 5, will Waste Potential really have any way to stop them?
Well, UMaster flashes away right into the Zonias.
Yeah, wow.
Now Pure Acid trying to chase, but he'll go down. Oh, good block there by Chi, saving his 80 carry. The Redemption will come down and try and heal him up as well. Alacrity in the front line on Rutledge.
That's what that Redemption's for, right?
Valencia's going in on a Rutledge in the back line, but he will not find him again. Another Zoni is used. On the other side, Passy is trying to keep these minion waves trimmed up. And now he's going to go on Indigo. The Hexacle made him. Dodges out, Papa skips his taunt. Very nice play from Passy again. Ball forward. Nope, not going to go onto it. Alacrity going to pull back. And just the one
more
down.
inhibitor for them to get.
Yeah, one inhibitor left. Top and bot have already fallen, and the mid lane inhibitor is open. Oh, in goes Alacrity. He's going to make his way back up, but will die in the process. That will be the third inhib, though. USArmy Esports. Oh, they struggled in game 1, but each game they've gotten better. You know, as the time has gone on in each game, they've gotten better, and they're looking very, very strong. They're ready to close this game out here. About 31 minutes, but they're in full control. 5 Drakes, 53,000 gold to 44,000. And they've got the items they need. They just need to close this one out. 3 inhibitors down. This game is certainly theirs. They just gotta close this one out.
Yeah, I think they could have closed this game out a while back, actually. If, you know, WP, they're just so good at getting picks, especially on Rutledge, especially, is really good at getting picks on that Vigar, right? And they just keep allowing him to get those picks. Makes it, you know, the game delayed a bit more. Caitlyn now finishing her 3rd item is going to be really strong. So if they don't end here, then, you know, WP, they might as well, like, they have the potential to come back if USArmy do not end in like the next 5 minutes.
Still, there's a 1,000 gold shutdown on Valencia. Like,
yeah, right. There's still a lot. Valencia still hasn't died.
Like,
neither has Yoonmaster. Yoonmaster close to dying a lot of times.
There's literally 1,600 gold just if they kill 2 people. They get 1,600 gold right now. Like, that's insane. But Alacrity's gonna go forward. They find Rutledge. He's gonna use the Zonias. Flash away from Jin Zhao, but he's gonna go back in. Valencia, though, with the Stone Plate, got tanky for a very long time. Pazzy's in the back line, but he's not gonna find enough damage on Indigo. He's still very healthy and has plenty of autos to throw out. Yoonmaster, though, working his way onto the Nexus turrets. 2 have already fallen. It's a 5-on-3. USArmy Esports. Oh, Alacrity gets chunked out. He's going to be able to get away, though, and another kill goes down. Just Endril and Indigo left, and there's too many supers.
Doing everything he can to save the game right now.
He's kiting beautifully, but it's just going to not be enough. He's able to kill Yoonmaster. That's a little bit of a shutdown, but There's too many minions here. The Nexus is open, and that will be the game and the series. US Army Esports comes back from a rough game 1 and takes the series 2-1.
And for their first set in the SFL, they beat the #1 team in standings. Well played by US Army.
I mean, a heck of a series from them. Like, it didn't look great to begin with, and but then they pulled it together. Hey, even in game 1, they looked better at the end of it, and then game 2 they looked even better, and game 3 they looked at their best. And that's obviously not saying much. You haven't seen them much, but it's saying a lot that they beat the #1 team in standings right now. Of course, there's still a lot of teams to beat. You've got, we've got Rats, we've got Lane Zero Blizzard, we've got Free Tele. There's lots of teams, but that's my point. We've got Rebrand. There's lots of teams to beat, but they certainly off to a good start, I would say.
Yeah, that's especially after that set. They're looking really good. Passy is shaping up, for me at least, to be he's great mechanically. If he's on a carry, then it looks like he can just take over the game.
Yeah, Passy, wonderful performance from him. Wonderful performance from everyone all around.
Yeah, really.
It was a very, very good series from them, from everyone. I don't know. It was just like I don't know what to say. Like they were good all around. Like I didn't see any major weaknesses from them. The only thing that could really knock against them was how they didn't protect their bottom lane in game 1. But that was the biggest thing I saw from them. And Ways of Potential was good as always, but it was just the US Army looked so good in those last 2 games.
Yeah, and that's just, I think, a weakness of Wasted Potential is I do think Indigo and Angel are a very good bot lane together, but if the rest of the rest of the map is losing, what can you really do, right?
Yeah, that's certainly a problem, right? And they even were trading good 2v2 even when they were behind, but then the jungler kept coming, the mid laner kept coming, and they died again to the dives. But I'm sure they still looked good. They looked dominant in game 1, and then they just the whole series just flipped on its head after that.
Yeah.
But I'm excited to see these guys again. I think they'll both have good series from here on out based on the way they played tonight. So.
And we actually play Wasted Potential tomorrow night, too.
All right, well, there you go. Even more excitement there. Tomorrow is Friday, right? Tomorrow's Friday. We got 2 series tomorrow, actually. We got Kuma Blades versus Paragon 5. And that's at 9:30 with me on the main stream. And then we have... Unless there's a change... No, that was... Okay, that is the right one. The change is actually Rebrand versus Wasted Potential, like you said, at 8:30 on the second stream. So actually 2 series, and you can probably watch them both because they're at different times. So there you go.
It's going to be a very interesting series for us because before Wasted Potential's set now that they lost to US Army, we were actually the only team that has beaten them in week 1. So this is going to be a really interesting series for me, at least, just to see how far both teams have gone from week 1. Since week 1.
Yeah, the very exciting matchup. So, looking forward to that one. I'll give that a watch for certainly tomorrow. And we've got games all the way from now until Sunday. So tune in anytime, and tune in tomorrow night on Friday, and we'll get another series. Anything else you want to plug or say before we head on out?
Well, nothing for me. It was a pleasure casting with you. Those games are definitely very entertaining.
Yeah, hopefully we'll get to see you again at some point in the future. Thanks to everyone for tuning in. Thanks to the sponsors for following everyone else in the SFL. You can find me on pretty much every platform as I'm Not Kios. You can find me on Twitch, on YouTube, Twitter, all that stuff. So you can check me out there. But yeah, excited. It was a great series. Excited for tomorrow. Tune in. And thanks for joining us. See you guys.
See you guys.